Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the recovery addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
The wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
All right. Holy cow. Good Tuesday morning. It is Tuesday. I can verify that. Let's see if everything's working here as far as sound goes. Looks like we are all set up. All right. Okay, are we ready? Oh, I'm turning down the wrong sound. I'm like, it's not getting quieter. I've got the wrong slider. I've changed a little bit around the studio here, so audio's routed a different way now, and got to get used to that. Let's see. Good morning, first of all. Happy Tuesday morning. Thank you for that catch, Kathy. I put Monday morning on the description, and it obviously is not going to be Monday twice in a row. We reserve the right to only have one Monday a week, and I'll respect that. So thank you very much for that. Let's see. Miss L, congratulations, Miss L. According to my records, which are not necessarily always correct, but according to my records, it looks like you were the first one in chat this morning, which makes you the proud owner of everything IP related for the next 24 hours or so. Actually, it's going to be shorter because we're going to do another live stream this afternoon when it gets a little closer to to Brian Koberger's hearing, which is going to be televised, is what we're hearing. So that'll be fantastic to hear. There's some information coming out about him that's pretty cool. As far as just interesting, he's got like already 2 conflicts of interest with public defenders, so he's like on his 3rd lawyer already. Is that a thing? Or maybe, I'm not sure if he ever really got assigned to those ones, but Kathy, good morning. It is Tuesday all day. Appreciate that. Sorry for the little the jump scare this morning there. Jay Hughes, wakey. Good morning, Michelle Clark, Golden Mom. Good to have you here. Lane, Pauline, Mr. 80s Music. Bite me. Happy New Year to you as well. Good to have you, Tony Fortune, Denise. Good morning, addicts. Happy to see everyone this morning. Good to see you here. Laura, Lane, I think we got you already, right? Yep. Amber, Toxic in the house. Welcome. Pauline, Izzy. Let's see. I think Eileen's here. Just going down the roll call here, just seeing who we're missing. Maureen, Debbie says good morning. Hugs to everyone. Hugs to you as well, Debbie. Thanks for being here this morning. Katrina, hello. As always, she brought donuts. Michelle arrived more appropriately dressed since I'm hanging out in front of in the front row nowadays. Michelle, I love this. I really do. I love that. Let's see who else is in the house. We've got a few people as the courtroom's filling up here. Sandy Fields, good morning from Maitland, Florida. Good to have you here, Sandy. Hope the weather's fantastic down there. Good morning, Weather Watch. Great to have you here this morning. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. Nasty 4-letter word, snow. You said the S word. Good morning, KQD. Congratulations, Miss L. Looks like I'm late. 30 here in my front yard. Had about 3 inches of snow overnight, but it has stopped now, and the street front has been plowed and salted. Let's see. Is everyone taking their seat? Is it working? Is the seat command working as it should? Yes, it looks like it is. KF7AIK, good morning. Possibly on your commute. Good to have you with us. Nico, can't wait to see the way he expresses himself. Man, I've heard that Brian is smart. He's educated. He's college educated, and he's possibly even eloquent a little bit. We're hearing more. We talked yesterday about everybody who's ever known Brian is going to be dug up by the press. And sure enough, we had We had news stories about people who were like, I went to grade school with him, and let me tell you what it was like, because I remember clearly. It's really somebody just grasping for a moment of fame. But we've got all sorts of reports. Catlaw, good morning. Good to have you here. Toxic says, check the Discord reminders for court dates happening this week. I will pop that up because we're gonna look at stuff. Last Poet's here. Lily, hello. Good to have you here. We've got the pickles and the mallet, or the gavel flying. It looks like a mallet, huh? Bernard G. Heather's in the house. Tish has taken her seat. Ginger, Miss Priss. I think we've got most people. Ed, did I miss you? Anne. I think I've got most of the roll call. Miss Winters, did I see you in there somewhere? JK, good morning. Been trying to become a member. It doesn't seem to let me. Yeah, it struggles. If you're on an iOS device, you sort of have to find a workaround for some reason. Doesn't play nicely there for some reason. I did work on a few of the commands, the chat commands overnight. Let's see. DMB says, morning, cough cannon loaded and ready. Let's see. Please come get your weather. It's loose again. Missed me, says Roxanne. Roxanne, good to have you here. And thanks for the messages. You've been sending me some messages. Appreciate that. AJ is late as usual. Actually, we're still calling a roll. So I'm going to count it as on time today. Because 6 minutes, the first 10 minutes, really, you can slide into the room within 10 minutes and be all right. No cameras in the courtroom for BK hearing this afternoon. I heard there were going to be cameras. I heard the opposite. But I have been wrong before, as you guys well know, and I might be wrong today as well. Let's see. I think, where did you hear there weren't? Was that just this morning you heard? I was actually surprised when I heard that. I think Law and Crime was tweeting that. Was that Kathy? Okay. Kathy Russin. Oh, no cameras allowed in PA courtrooms. Bummer. Where did I see that differently? So guess what? We're not going to do this afternoon. We're not going to take that live because there won't be anything. There won't be any cameras. And if there are, the judge will be really mad. He won't fight going there. Okay, so basically we'll hear after he gets out. Then we'll hear reports from people who are in the courtroom because they're going to have to be there in person to find out what happened. I was reading this. Somebody Mabutt, that's his name, M-A-B-B or M-A-B-B-U-T-T. I don't know how to pronounce that. Mabutt. Mr. Mabutt or Mrs. Mabutt, the lawyer Mabutt, can't represent Koberger because she's conflicted out her. So it's another lawyer in her office who does PD work. So there are two other lawyers in the county who could be appointed to represent Koberger. And that's in Idaho. Because extradition hearing for Brian this morning at 3:30 in Monroe County, Pennsylvania. So who will represent him when he returns to Idaho? His PA lawyer said his parents can't afford to pay for an attorney. Koberger will get a public defender when he returns to Idaho. There's no state public defender system in Idaho. There are 4 lawyers in Latah County who are contracted with the county for PD work. One, Kathy Mabutt, who's also currently coroner. So there's a little conflict. Mabutt can't represent Koberger because she's conflicted out. So another lawyer in her office who does PD work. So there are 2 other lawyers in the county who could be appointed to represent Koberger. That's the problem when you commit a crime in a very small town, right? The cameras are outside already. Yeah, they're getting the footage. There's not going to be anything to see for a while other than a nice sunrise and some beautiful scenery. Yeah, PA does it differently. They are no Florida for sure. Good morning, True Celtic. Good to have you in the house. I will tell you. Let's see, is Mac here yet? Let's see. I had a Knox live stream all set to go from last night, and it's gone. I cannot find it anywhere. And I'm not sure. I believe it started with the women from the women's jail, and I was looking all over, and everything I'm looking on the Knox stream, I'm not sure if they pulled it down or not, which is rare because they normally don't. But let's see here. On a Globe says present. Good. You're here. Let's see, I see Roxanne. Can't there be a section in Discord where the cases for the month are posted? Way too many items on the side menu to search and find. There's a lot of stuff on there. But I think they actually do have a section for the cases for the month if you look for it. It is on the side, but it's got the months and different things. Let me see if I can pull it up here while we're talking. It's loading. Morning, AJ. Good to have you here. Sometimes Alias, hop it in with the kangaroo. I love all the different emojis that just become available over time. I just like YouTube constantly just gives us more. AJ's here. Nico Hutton says, hello, I made it. Great to have you, Nico. Kathy Kniffen. Is it Kniffen? Is the K pronounced like Kniffen or Knifen? Johnson City, Tennessee is supposed to be 71 degrees today. That is beautiful. I mean, what a great winter morning. Ed says I must have put a word not allowed in the message. Should we get one zapped by somebody? I didn't see it. We all hope you're wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I've not heard about him being streamed. Right. I thought it was last night. I was laying down checking the updates on my phone, and I read a tweet that I thought said was streamed, but I read what I wanted it to say and not what it actually said. I have that problem. I've heard both were and weren't. This is Golden Mom. Okay, maybe I read one that said were, but
There's a lawsuit.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit. Let me get that sound popped up right there. Okay. Brian Enton posted on Twitter, he does not think cameras will be inside, but he will be there. And Brian's been almost too good at getting information. His sources are phenomenal. He's digging stuff up all over the place, but sometimes some of the stuff he's sharing is like, you guys, you don't go knock on the door. Leave the family alone a little bit, But he does have some good sources. Is Tag here? It's a little early for Tag. We've got to give her half an hour or so, right? She was up late. She was texting me a little bit on the burner phone last night, so I know she had probably a later night. Let's see. Get comfy. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you, Katrina. I appreciate that. Okay, media access, no cameras though. Okay, so that's where the confusion starts. Yes, there is media access, but no, the media can't bring their cameras. So basically, bring your sketch pads. They may allow still photography. They probably do allow still photography, or have a single courtroom photographer, and everyone else is just typing on their computers. So we'll probably. I'm not sure if it'll allow like phones, so I'm not sure if we'll get Twitter or what. But if he's waiving extradition, it won't last very long anyway. Yeah, it's going to be super quick. As long as he doesn't change his mind and decide to fight it, which I don't think he will. His lawyers already come out and said they won't fight it, and it would just be weird for him to say that and then do the opposite. I initially heard cameras would be allowed as well. You're not going crazy. Just wanted to provide the update I saw. Sounds like we'll get info after. That'll be good. We'll find out for sure. But really, I mean, depending on how on the ball Idaho is, as soon as it's done, they're going to out-process him from the jail, and he's heading to Idaho. I'm pretty sure Idaho wants to not sit on their hands for a while. They want to look like they're underway. But here's the thought that I had last night. He seems anxious to be exonerated. I think that's what his lawyer had passed along the other day. Is he going to waive his right to a speedy trial? Could this be what I'm asking is? Could this be a case that we see this year? In the next couple of months, 3 months down the road, could this be going to trial, and Idaho be rushed to get everything together for that? Because honestly, they're still out there saying we still need tips, we still need information about him. Okay, we want to know, because they want to know. Basically, they're looking desperately for the murder weapon, right? They need a murder weapon. They need more information, and although they're confident they could get a conviction, they sure would like more. They sure would like more, so that they're solid in that. So if they are behind the 8 ball as far as getting information, because they barely found out it was him, just a while back. It hasn't been very long that he's been a suspect. I don't know. If he says, I want a speedy trial, does that put them under the gun, so to speak, and better off for him? Perhaps he'll be represented by a potato. There's a chance. Apparently there aren't many lawyers up there to go with. Let's see. Break out your public defender bingo cards. It's going to be one of those. I think the potato will be representing Boone. Oh, my goodness. I keep watching that. As a matter of fact, I need to check again this morning just to see if where's...
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
I promised we would do that today, but maybe just before the break. Let's see. Leave that one. Where did... I don't know where it went. We'll find it here. Okay. We're gonna check Boone. We'll check on Boone here just briefly and make sure the lawyer hasn't, because I think he might still file another request to get off the case. Oh, I have to do a I'm not a robot thing. These are the hardest things. Select all the images with mountains or hills. That one. I think that's it. Yep, I passed. I'm not a robot. Good news, guys. I passed the CAPTCHA test. Okay. All right. There's no new motions to withdraw. That's what I was looking for. Everything is still on schedule with Sarah Boone, with the 17th being the hearing, the pretrial conference. So good. Okay, so I really think that one's going to go forward. I think the judge has sort of laid down the law and said, we're not going to let you off. You've got to move forward. Sarah's not going to like it because I don't think he's very into this case. Let's see. Daniel Matthews says, Recovery Addict, what do you benefit more from, super chats or memberships? I'm trying to decide which to do. Daniel, I benefit just from you being here, and that is all that's necessary. If you do want to do a super chat or membership, it's basically the same. The split is the same. So whatever you're willing to contribute, I would be most grateful for. But that's all. Just being here, though, is plenty and enough. Don't ever think otherwise. AJ, I always want a family lawyer to go out into the sticks to represent my cousin, like my cousin Vinny. Good morning from the highway to Amarillo, headed to the Big Texan for lunch. Laura, sounds good. You're headed out already for lunch. Highway to Amarillo. That's a good drive. It must be good lunch. Melinda says, interview with father. One of the victims seemed like he wasn't too sure that the guy did it. Yeah, we'll find more information about as soon as he lands in Idaho. I think that's really going to give us an idea of how strong the evidence is against him. I hate autocorrect. It saves me and it gets me into trouble, Roxanne. So it's a love-hate relationship for me. Got to go grocery shopping later today, hoping the eggs are cheap and I can find those pickles to try. Courtney, I think you'll love them. And good luck on the eggs. I told you a little bit about my my story with eggs earlier. Debbie says, I'm in the back I'm the one with the spitballs. That's who's doing it, Debbie. Bailiffs have their eye on you. I got a new name. My U.S. phone died, and Google locked me out of everything, including YouTube. Nico, what was your old name? What was your old name, Nico? Did we recognize you under your old name? Because I don't remember the image. Of course, I forget lots of things. Pants says, just found your channel a week ago, so now I'm here to stay. Thanks for your content. Pants.
Hi all. Been absent due to family concerns. Have been watching during downtime. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Randall, appreciate it. You're amazing. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the channel. Hopefully this family concerns all get resolved in a good way for you, and it's all good stuff from here on throughout the rest of the year. Get the bad stuff out of the way in the first day or two, and then you're good to go. So thank you very much.
I don't have anything edgy and cool to say, so just gonna say I'm looking forward to your coverage of Sarah Boone :D.
Daniel, thank you so much. No, you don't need to have anything edgy. Just being here in chat is awesome. You guys are amazing, and your support is so much appreciated. We have some fabulous cases coming up. We have a little bit of a lull in between. I was actually going to pull up on Discord because Toxic just made a suggestion here. Let's see. We want to look for... We're in January already. Court calendar, January. So we've got... this week we've got Young Thug, which we may or may not follow. It's sort of funny because it started out with like young thug and all 20 whatever of his fellow gangsters are getting charged with these RICO charges, serious stuff, this criminal enterprise type accusations and all the crimes associated with it. And then one by one, his homies are taking pleas and they're caving. And it's like, and he had a sweet deal offered to him as well. So he really should have, I think, jumped on that. But instead, he's standing up and just like, I'm going to ride this through, and it might not end well for him. I think the deal was something about 7 years, and when you're facing some serious charges like that, 7 is probably much lighter than the sentence you would get. So that's going to be interesting. Also this week, let's see, we've got the death by eye drops. That's on the 6th. I don't know if that'll be televised. Proud Boys trial. We've got a few of those things happening. Let's see, the 9th we have, the Jensen antifreeze murder trial. That will be good. I believe that one will be televised, and I think we will watch that. That is a retrial, basically. He gets a do-over, and this time the evidence from his wife's letter, his wife that died. Basically, she wrote a letter before she died saying, "Hey, I hope nothing happens, but if it does, my husband is the one who did it." And they ruled that letter is not going to be allowed as evidence. They're like speaking from the grave. They're not going to allow that evidence because, do you know why? Because she can't be cross-examined on the stand. Pow. I'm like, holy, wow. She had all this information, but no, they're going to rule it out. I think, just looking at the case, I didn't follow it the first time through, but just looking at it, I think there's enough evidence to convict him without that letter. But it was surprising that he got he won on appeal and got to go back and get a do-over because of that. Let's see. I watched that suitcase murder movie, Recovery Addict. Was wondering if Sarah watched it. I don't know where she got her ideas from, but that's crazy. Who was it? Weatherwatch gifted one Recovery Addict membership. Who was the lucky person here? Thank you, Weatherwatch, by the way. Let me see if I can find where that is. I'm way behind in chat. Who's the winner chicken dinner? Queen Olive was gifted a membership by Weatherwatch. Congratulations, Queen Olive. Welcome to the member crew. But thank you, Weatherwatch. Appreciate your support of the channel. You're amazing. And we might need to get you on to do some more weather reporting with the crazy stuff that's happening. Did get my coffee cup. Yay, says Randall. That is awesome. I'm glad it arrived. You're edgy and cool just being here, says AJ. Yeah, you're in the cool club. Let's see. Short answer. Oh, that's Crafty Cow. Response to Crafty Cow. We've seen a little bit more information coming out that I think is leaking, quite honestly, that shouldn't be out. And I'm wondering, I'm actually concerned about it because it's coming from Idaho and about the investigation and how they found him. So somebody's talking a little bit, and I hope it doesn't jeopardize any of the investigation in the case. But what do you think about the DNA, about how they found him and how he was they used a public DNA database, like an Ancestry.com or a my DNA, I forget what it is. There are a couple different databases out there, but that's how they were able to not necessarily find him, because the way that works, they can find your family line and say, hey, we can target it to this area, and then find the individual that matches up the area. So I think that's what it was. I doubt that he was in the database. He had provided a sample of his DNA. And they just found an exact match and said, bingo, we've got our guy.
Best channel for entertainment and edgy commentary and a fan for life.
Laura, best channel for entertainment and edgy commentary. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate so much you being here and the support of the channel. Anyway, I just think that I think they found it because someone else in his family was in the database. That's my gut instinct here. I'll probably be wrong, but when I think of that, I think the way he's planned this, the way it seemed so planned out, I doubt he would have overlooked the fact that his DNA was on file, so to speak. 3 dozen were $20 and change. Absolutely ridiculous. Bite me. It's time to buy a chicken. It really is. We should all get chickens together and then commiserate as we try to get them to lay eggs. Let's see. Wet and cold as usual. I had the week off. What did you do? What did you cover last week? KF7 AIK. What did we cover last week? I think we had some really fun Arkansas police chases because Arkansas does it different. When it goes to California has more police chases by far, but Arkansas, as soon as you like have a chance to pull over and don't, that's when they're like hit him, put him in the ditch, and they almost have like a slogan. I imagine in the employee section of the state troopers, Central Command, there's something like. Run, we'll put you in the ditch. There's like a slogan across the wall that says that because they have no problem totaling their car on your car, and regardless of the speed. Doesn't matter. You're doing over 100, they'll hit you anyway. And if you die, oops, you shouldn't have run. That's just how they handle that there. And so it's fun to watch those, especially when it's dash cam footage because we don't get very many helicopter views of over the chases in Arkansas. Wow, Weather Watch, you're very generous and loved by us all. You sure are. He's amazing man, and just being able to talk to him offline as well. He's as good offline as he is here in the chat room. Death by eye drops. I gotta Google the background on that. John, I think my understanding is it wasn't like putting poison in her eye or in the person's eye. I think it was actually ingesting the eye drop chemical that causes the death, and it's
you rock RA.
Toxic.
I used to have chickens. Thinking about getting them again. Beaming face with smiling eyes.
Bite me. Used to have chickens. Well, you might be the resident expert then. We might have to come to you and say, how do we do this? What species should we get? Feed? How do we worry? How do you keep the rodents from coming in? How do you all those questions that basically are super important. To make sure you get it right. How do you keep the neighbors from getting angry about you having chickens? I mean, do they make noise all the time? I assume roosters for most people aren't allowed if you're in town. But I don't want a rooster because they don't lay any eggs. At last I heard. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I don't think roosters lay eggs. Pants says, I'm not the pants you were looking for. I'm not the pants from any Discord. Well, it's still welcome anyway. You have a name, share a name with somebody who I think is respected or at least well known. So welcome. Let's see. Andrea DCS has admitted to being an addict. Please welcome to the group. Andrea, thanks so much for subscribing. Appreciate you being here. Eye drop murder is a weird one. Love this addict family. This is a unique place on the internet. I mean, if of all the places you can roam and wander and stumble into online, this little community is so different from what you find anywhere else. It's welcoming. It's civil. It's fun. It's you walk in here and everybody's your friend by default. Whereas other places, anywhere you go, you're on guard, and just like it's unique. I love it. I love being here every day. You guys are absolutely amazing. Death by Eyedrop should be streamed since it's Judge Starro. Yes, I believe she's open to it. It might be a resource issue though. With all the other cases that are going on, we're not sure which one's going to be covered. And currently, I don't have the equipment set up myself to stream it myself. I'm hoping to get there. That's one of my goals. 72 in Fort Myers going to 84 today. That's like summertime weather. That's fantastic. Who is this? I just scrolled and missed it. Let's see. Somebody said I have to use eye drops 4 times a day, and now you tell me they're deadly. Who was that? It was like Visine, right? Is that what we're talking about? You don't want to ingest it. Man, I lost it. It's somewhere in the chat. I had a feeling DNA had something to do with the genealogy site. Yeah, that'll be fun to see. Oh, Mac, you might have just saved my life. Hang on just one second. I was looking everywhere for this link, and I could not find it this morning, and Mac had texted me. Nope, that's not it. Let's see. We're going to get this Knox stream one way or another. Hang on just one second. There we go. All right. So Mac had texted me last night when I was watching. I was actually watching the Knox stream at the same time, and he texted me and said, "Hey, there's some good stuff out of Knoxville." And I said, "Yeah, I'm watching it." We were just talked back and forth, and then this morning I went to pull it up, and I could not find it anywhere. It was like gone. Let's see. Hopefully this is the one here. Let's pull this up. Bring this over here. Okay, just 1 second here. We'll get there. I think this is it. And thank you so much, Mac. Saved me here. I really wanted to share this one. It's not a long one, or at least, well, it does go long, but the good parts of the front, we might watch a little bit more. My understanding is genealogy led them to essentially. It's working. It's working. Who was the test from? Oh, Nico. Thank you very much for the test. Appreciate that.
Ma'am. I'm sorry?
Amanda Glenn.
Ms. Glenn,
Hey,
I have
Glenn.
good news for you.
Good news.
You have been pre-trialed. So they will be out processing you and calling you to down to release after yonder.
After yonder.
Bad news is you'll miss that delicious breakfast tomorrow morning.
Oh.
She seems actually disappointed.
Very well.
in
That's
missing
all
the
I've got for
breakfast.
you.
Thank you.
That's the best news you can possibly get when you're in jail
Go
and
back
called in
to
front of the
Florida.
magistrate. It's basically, hey, next, you're out.
I've also pre-trialed Ms. Coffee.
Ooh, Miss Coffee.
It's coffee.
Your name, ma'am?
Coffee?
Is your name Coffee?
Yes.
Well, then you've been pre-trialed as well. And you will miss the sheriff's delicious breakfast tomorrow morning.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Thank you, sir.
Don't forget to go to court.
Okay, so I'm out today?
Yeah, well, this evening sometime they've got to out process and do
She's
all
headed
of
for
that.
the door right now. she's standing by the exit. She's just like, I'm out today, and she just about gave the judge a hug through the Zoom. You ditch us, we
Ms.
ditch
Woodard,
Yes, sir.
you have a right to remain silent.
you. Oh man, poor Miss
Anything
Woodward.
that you say could be used against you in court. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, did you fill in one of these forms requesting consideration for an appointed attorney?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn.
I can't remember what her
Do you
charges
swear
were.
the information you put on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you can put your hand down.
Did she have a glove on? Looked like she had a white glove on. You get pretrial. You get pretrial. You get to keep your mouth shut. That's exactly how it went. She's like, hey, the last two got out for free. Can I get out too? And let me just tell you, she will end up standing here for a long time. So I'm going to turn it down as we sit here and watch as we
All
talk
right,
about
ma'am,
that.
you are charged with improperly driving on roadways laned for traffic. You're charged with possession of Schedule I drugs for resale.
Ooh, that's a bad one.
You're charged with possession of methamphetamines for
Hey.
resale.
How you doing?
And you're charged with simple possession of marijuana. Do you understand what you're accused of?
Yes.
Yeah, the driving, that would have been an ROR type thing. That's improper lane position type thing. That's not a big deal. I don't know who keeps trying to join the Zoom here, but somebody is. Kathy, have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. She could have asked for a late checkout to get breakfast. It's like, can you delay it till just after breakfast? This one is definitely getting breakfast for sure. Oh man, Golden Mom. He, if I understand correctly, Hamlin had went into cardiac arrest after a hit. Is that what I heard? And then had to get CPR on the field. It's in the hospital now. That is, I mean, we love football and we love it. It's a pretty. We like to think it's a violent sport. Oh, those in the UK might think that it's not as violent as, say, like rugby, but at the same time, you don't want to see somebody get injured. You don't want to see somebody, be hurt or lose their life over a game. I sort of hate to see people understand the phrase pre-trialed and they know to celebrate and ask about timing. Yeah, if I were there, I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean I have a trial before my trial? But yeah, these guys know exactly what pre-trial is. It's the guys that show up and like, hey, could I be released or ROR'd on this one? And maybe, and trying to cut a deal with the magistrate. It's like they've been there a time or two. I will tell you the DNA side. Courtney, you're saying I just wasn't sure if there was a benefit to DNA over old-fashioned research. But then again, I like researching things. Probably should have been a research attorney. I had an experience with DNA research. I've never done the sort of ancestry DNA thing myself yet. I may do that eventually. I just haven't had the sort of the time and interest to do it. But I might do it. Bless you. But I had a coworker who's since passed on. She lost a fight to cancer. Amazing woman and really cool family. But I had a coworker. Her husband was adopted as a kid, as a baby. And when they did the adoption, the paperwork, they basically had his birth certificate changed. And this is legit. I mean, this is what happened to show that his new parents, his adopted parents, were his existing parents. That's what they sort of did with the records back then. And so he had no idea who his family was. And he was just he always thought he knew, he had some information, he knew some stories, about who his mom was, but never able to find her. And he ended up doing a DNA test, and some information came back, and it said that there was a distant match. And using incredible sleuthing skills, I got online and I started combining phone books and histories and records and public records and everything. I put together a list of people to call, and I started doing phone calls and saying, look, this is the most bizarre question you'll get all day, but this is what I'm chasing down. I'm trying to find somebody who would, in this situation. And I found his mom. And I was able to get that information to him, and he was able to go up and meet his family for the first time. And he's my age, and he just sent pictures and just like this. He had a family that he actually in a state that he visits all the time, but just had never met. And so he has all this extended family he's never had, being like an only child, and it was really neat. So the DNA side is fascinating. What they can do with that is really cool. But to see them use that in this Idaho murder case is also awesome. Do you see Ken Block died yesterday in a snowmobile accident? Very sad. I did not. Oh my goodness. I know that there was talk about accidents. There was another. Who's the guy that plays the Avenger dude who shoots the arrows? I saw he got hit by a snowplow, but I don't think he passed away. I think he's just got some serious injuries in the hospital. Let's see, heavy stuff. So yeah, she's just standing here. I don't know why. She clearly is not happy about her situation, knowing what she's facing. But having drugs with intent to distribute is serious. Been working too much to catch the live streams. Congrats on the 4K. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it. And hopefully work is going well for you. If you can't be here and you have to work, I hope it's very profitable and fulfilling for you. But thanks for popping in today. See, I swear to drunk, I'm not. Yeah. Those are fun videos too. If you can find a good DUI roadside test. Let's see. saw Steven Tyler was in the news. I scroll and I missed it. Let's see. Mars House, congrats on 4K. I made 100, not K though. Hey, 100's a great start. You'll get there, Mars. You'll get there. Just keep going live, and send me a link so I can pop in and say hi. See, can you please DM the link of this site so I can add it to the Discord? Toxic, you talking about the Knoxville stream?
Can you tell me how long you've lived in the Knoxville area?
Ma'am?
Ma'am?
I've been here on and off 15 years, maybe.
Where'd you live when you weren't here? In the last 15 years.
DC.
In D.C.
Yep.
Washington, D.C.?
I can't think of another one off the top of my head. She's not very responsive.
But I've been in prison for 3 years. I just got out.
And
My children
you
are
got
here.
back in.
I went to school here. I've been here most of my life.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to West End Academy. It's a alternative school. And I went to Central for a week. I went to Cedar Bluff Elementary.
Did she say I went to Central for a week?
I went to, let's see. I was in state's custody as a child.
She's had a rough upbringing.
So I went to a lot of group home schools.
Bouncing around a lot, and ended up in prison. And now she's out of prison just barely, and now she's facing all that again. Yes, Jeremy Renner's his name. Thank you, Katrina. Hurt by a big snow machine. Who was in ICU. Neighbor saved his life with a tourniquet. I'm glad the neighbor saved his life. That could be life changing for him, obviously, with his career and everything. Kazoo Night Walrus Man. Toxic. Hey, that guy. Welcome. It's good to see you in green there on my screen. It's your name shows up in green.
I see that in the past you've been represented by Mary Ward. Were you pleased with the services that she provided?
Not at all.
I don't know was her response. No, watch
You were
this.
not?
Now, no. She changed her mind. She knows she's not. Well, I think she said not at all, maybe. So the judge is going through. He's sorting through the papers. He's going to find somebody else to represent her, and watch what happens.
I tried to fire her on several occasions. I even wrote the court.
Tell us more. She did not get along with her lawyer at all. She continues to ponder breakfast. Wonder if it's going to be scrambled eggs or Benny. It's noisy. Bernie, that noise happens when Zoom is quiet on both ends and somebody has the setting turned up to automatically adjust the volume. Zoom just like keeps turning the volume up and up and up until it can hear what it thinks it's supposed to be hearing. So sometimes that'll happen. I'll try to write it on my end just to turn it down when they're not talking, but that's frustrating. It's just a settings issue on Zoom. Or on their, it's not Zoom, it's a different software like Zoom. Let's see. Oh no. Mars, great practice though. You've got that one out of the way. Everyone has one of those. I've done them myself. I've gone several minutes into a live stream and realized that I hadn't actually gone live because I had the streaming key wrong and wondering where everybody was. It happens to the best of us. So Steven Tyler has a lawsuit against him. Hey, we'll see if that moves forward, what information we have there. Let's see. When did you change icons? I changed them yesterday, KQD, and I'm not sure if I'm really happy with mine. I thought I should have my face on there somehow, but I couldn't find a good one I liked. I changed that, and I also changed the banner on our the channel page. It's getting loud again.
All right, ma'am. I find you do qualify for an appointed attorney, and I'm going to appoint Attorney Bailey Harned to represent you in this matter.
No, sir, please don't appoint Ms. Bailey. Please don't appoint Bailey. Please, that is a conflict of interest. She's a child attorney for my adoption, my kid's adoption.
Magistrate's like,
Well, what lawyers do you not have conflicts with?
I mean, Bailey. I just figured that it would be a conflict, and it would just hold up time.
Well, it probably is.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm trying to fit you. You know, I picked two lawyers kind of out of the hat.
I know.
Both of them are, you know, I want to get you with a lawyer who you can communicate with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
I don't know. I don't know.
What about Mitch Harper? Do you know Mitch Harper?
she's like,
Heard the name, but no, I don't.
oh my
I
goodness.
don't know him.
Well, if Ms. Harnett is tangled up in an adoption case with you, then that could create a conflict.
Yes, sir.
I was not aware of that, of course.
Because you didn't tell me. I could have real chickens. We could have a sponsored chicken, then post short vids of them. Richard, one time I was debating doing a live stream, a live camera, 24-hour live stream of a chicken coop. And just like you have little chats in here where you can send messages to trigger things in the live stream. I can set it up. I could set it up to have it so you could send a treat, mealworms or something get dropped into the chicken coop, or something like that.
What about Mr. Hyman? Is he available?
So he's
Mr. Hyman?
She knows all
Mr.
the
Hyman
lawyers
is
by name.
not on the on the appointment list.
You can't afford him now.
Mr. Hyman, Tommy is works for people with lots of money.
Yeah, that's not her right now. What are we
Darn
watching?
good lawyer.
Yes, he is. That's why he gets
I've
a lot
been
of money.
appointed by Mr. Hedrick too, as well, but I don't know. Sometimes he says he's on the list, and sometimes he's not. So
She's been through a couple lawyers. Randy, we're watching the Knox stream on YouTube. This is Knoxville Magistrate's arraignment feed. Probably 3-4 times a day we have arraignments out of Knoxville. So this is one from last night.
All right. Well, I'm appointing you Mitch Harper. Since you barely heard the name, you would not have a conflict with Mitch.
This is exactly what happens. And plus,
there's a $50 assessment associated with this appointment. That should be paid to the clerk's office on or before January 16th. If you're not able to take care of that by January 16th, more than likely it'd be added on as part of your court cost. I'm going to schedule your cases for January 4th. That'll be in felony court for a bond hearing. At that point in time, your lawyer will be able to
if he says enjoy your breakfast
present
at the
evidence
end,
and arguments
that'll be the best.
To the judge to ask that the bonds that I have set this evening be reduced or eliminated.
So this one, she had some improper
on your
lane.
charge of simple possession, I've released you on your recognizance.
Okay, that's the marijuana, simple possession.
On your charge of possession of methamphetamines for resale, I've set your bond at $2,500.
That's a big one.
On your charge of possession of Schedule I drugs for resale, I've set your bond at $2,500.
It's also a big one.
On your charge of driving on roadways laying for traffic, I've released you on your recognizance.
See, so what happened there? She probably got
Your
pulled
total
over
bond
for
then is,
improper lane position or something.
$5,000 at this point.
But when they pulled her over, they
It
found that
also
she had all the
appears
drugs.
there's a hold on you from Union County
Oh, there's that one as well.
regarding something about a VOP on a charge of simple possession.
yes, sir. That
You understand what all these matters are about?
Yes, sir. And that hold, for some reason, I don't know why it's
That's
showing
nothing
up.
I'm just telling you, I'm just a messenger on that. I got no
Okay.
control over that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, your arraignment is complete.
All right. Here you go. That's all here.
All right, very well.
I think he goes over to the men's side here. I'm not
Was
sure.
that call the men?
He's going to dial the men up. I haven't watched the men. We'll keep it going in the background
Well,
here
they
just to see if
think
something
they
pumps
are.
up. Let's see.
They probably don't.
Yeah, they've got a few. Okay, let's go over here. I'm way behind on chat, so let's see. She's tried all the lawyers. Yeah, she did not. Hopefully she had a good breakfast this morning.
Let me get just one of you at a time.
I'd like to see two at a time. That would be a unique arraignment.
All right, officer.
Look at the guy in 102 over there
I
on the
got
right. He's
some
peeking
good
out.
news
This
for
is like
you.
this is his entertainment.
Bad news for you as well.
Okay, what's that?
You got 3 folks that are on pretrial now.
Okay.
Is that the good news or the
guy
bad
named
news?
Boots, I think is his last name. Got put on pretrial. Lewis got put on pretrial. And there's another guy named Castrello, Patrick Castrello, got put on pretrial.
Is that him?
Costello, okay. Okay.
Now, that's good news. There's also a fellow by the name of Salvador Janez who needs a translator, and I have got one.
Oh, that's who is dialing in. That's who
I
is
have
dialing
one
in.
that I can call up, and they will get on Teams, and we can arraign this character.
Microsoft Teams. That's the software we're using.
So I want you to get this guy and get me a form so we can take care of him. But you've got some others here. I've got 3 others that I can identify, and I've got 2 others I can identify, and I've got one piece of paper that I absolutely cannot read. It did not come through good.
Okay.
What is your name, sir?
Rakim. Bias.
Bias. He's a
Last
pretrial.
name?
Right?
Bias. Bias.
Wasn't he one of the pretrials? Maybe not. Tom, we had conflicting information on the Idaho extradition hearing.
Is Angel still over there? Yes. Look and see if I pretrialed somebody named Bias.
The hearing is at 3:30 Eastern
I don't
time.
have a form that I can read
for the Idaho case.
but I bet this is him.
And
Probably is. I had the pencil wasn't good. We had.
All right, sir, you have been pre-trialed as well.
woohoo! No breakfast.
I could not read the form that got sent to me, but you have been pre-trialed.
We've heard that it is going to be live streaming, and we've heard that it isn't.
You can head back to the slider.
All right, thank you.
So you have Gillespie and Arias that need to be arraigned still.
Correct.
Okay, let me go grab them right quick.
And see if you can find old Salvador.
I got him in here. Would you like me to go and fax you his information, or would you
Oh,
like
that
to...
would be wonderful. If you can fax me his
People
information,
still
I'll
use fax
tell the
machines.
translator that we are.
Well, the other thing I was going to ask, if you just wanted the translator to go over the form with him, or do you need the fax?
Oh, I've
affidavit?
got to have the fax.
I need all the
To
facts.
appoint him a lawyer, I got to have the fax.
Okay, sounds good. Let me go get these other guys for you.
Okay.
Wooden Toad says, the only time I've ever been in jail was on a government class field trip. The only time I've been before a judge was in a mock trial, and the only time the time they forgot to update my voter registration for jury duty. I participated in a class, a public police academy, basically police academy for the public. It's an 11-week class with the sheriff's department, and we got to do all sorts of stuff. And so we went in the we went in the jail, and they grabbed an inmate who was in there for murder, and they brought him out of his cell and said, "Hey, do you want to talk to this group?" He's like, "Yeah," it gets me out of my cell. And he came down, sat down, the most honest conversation I've ever had. He said, I have nothing to lose, basically.
Well, we're not ready, but we're going to be. He's going to go.
So he could talk to
fella.
us, and
I just wanted to let you know that'll be coming along here.
It was bizarre.
About 15 minutes, maybe.
But he was very honest about what it was like. He was and what got him in there and everything else.
Yeah, that'll be all right. Okay.
Thought that platform was familiar. Yeah, I've used Teams
All right.
in my day as well.
Thank you. What is your name, sir?
Akeem Gillespie. Or anyone else in 6? There was just moving somebody in 6 Charlie cells because he was acting like
Your last name?
Gillespie.
Gillespie?
Yes, sir.
He's actually in the basement of the courthouse, Lee. I know it looks like he's from home, but we'll see
Gillespie, you
multiple
have a right
different
to
people
remain
from that
silent.
seat.
Anything that you say could be used against you in court.
Consent to that name.
You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
We can do that. As the pretrial is basically he just moves straight to pretrial. That's the trial where we're going to have that for Sarah Boone on the 17th. That's my understanding. And maybe Matthew, if Matthew's here, he can hop in and explain that a little better. But basically, it's they're released. I think I don't think they have to bond out for that. So it's basically just they're good enough to go. It's generally for a very minor offense. Major offenses you wouldn't be pre-trialed for.
All right, sir. Did you fill in one of these forms requesting
really bad.
consideration for an appointed attorney?
DMB's going to sew all the
highlighted marks on it.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn.
highlights. Don't go through the
You
facts.
swear
machine
the
very well.
information on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge.
Sure.
All right, sir. You can put your hand down.
I've been there. I've done the felony stops. We actually got a volunteer completely intoxicated and kept testing her for her blood alcohol content, doing the breath test, and made her walk the line. She probably walked a mile that evening.
Where is it that you work, sir?
It was very unique.
Wivas?
I don't know what that is.
And how long have you lived in the Knoxville community?
All my life.
How old are you?
19.
Oh, man.
19 years.
He's young and he's in the system. Burner pigeon. That's a great idea. Except the pigeon might not like it. Burner pigeon's called a phoenix. Okay, I'm falling behind on chat. Let me scroll down here. If you want me to respond to something, throw my name in there, just briefly. This is the only magistrate that refuses to look on the documentation and see what year somebody was born, because he has that in front of him. But if they say, I've been here all my life, he'll say something like, how old are you? Or, well, you forgot to invite me to your last birthday party, so I don't know how old you are. See you, Bob. Thanks for joining in.
Sir, you're charged with possession of Schedule 6 drugs for resale.
Schedule 6.
And also charged with possession of a firearm with the intention to go armed during a dangerous felony.
Ooh, that's also not
Do you
good.
understand what you are accused of?
Yes, sir.
Something musical, Mr. 80s. What's a musical gang you can think of? So Weagle's is a Knoxville area gas station convenience store. They have excellent milk and eggnog. But he was about to do like armed robbery or something. Does that make him no longer eligible to work at a convenience store? Kevin, I haven't seen anything on Yon. I'm gonna have to check. Maybe see if Discord has anything on this. Let me do a quick peek here.
Excuse me, Chuck. Excuse me. Did you say it was intent to sell?
She's like,
Did
that
you
was,
say it was
that
6
was
drugs
personal
and 10 to
consumption.
sell?
I said that it was possession of Schedule 6 drugs for resale. That's the charge.
Okay, thank you. I'll make sure, sir.
That's his defense. I had no intent on selling that. I was going to use it all myself. Let's see. Jan is coming up. Okay, let me find where Jan is here. So they've got money approved for an outside expert for DNA, which means it's going to take some time for Jan. Next hearing set for February 1st. Thank you, Toxic, for that. Next hearing is set for February 1st on that case. So we've got a month before Brad Leon comes up. And I found that through Discord. If you have not used Discord, I'll give a plug for it. Toxic and Lil Miss and her gang over there do a fantastic job gathering information and making it available for you. Hey, Johnny Law, good to have you here. Let's see what drugs are on the Schedule 6 category. Let's do a quick check here.
All right, sir. I find you do qualify for an appointed attorney, and I'm going to appoint public defender's office to represent you in these cases.
Okay, Schedule 6.
There's a $50 assessment associated with that appointment. That should be paid to the clerk's office.
Are low.
On or before.
So it's basically
January
marijuana,
16th.
hashish
If you're not
oil.
able to take care of that by January 16th, more than likely it'd be added on as part of your court cost. I'm setting your case for January the 4th, that's Wednesday, in felony court for a bond hearing. At that time, your attorney will be able to
Let the magistrate
present
finish
arguments and evidence to the court to show that your bond should be reduced or eliminated.
Sure.
On your charge of possession of Schedule 6 drugs for resale, I'm setting your bond at $500.
See, the
On your charge
class
of
ones were
possession of a
$2,500
firearm with
bond.
the intention to go armed during a dangerous felony,
That's bad.
I'm setting your bond at $2,500. So your total bond is $3,000. Do you have any questions, sir?
But I was just guarding the drugs.
Very well. Your arraignment is complete.
I do think this judge really likes his job. He used to be a...
4th,
What was that?
January 4th.
Okay, he's just writing the dates down. So Schedule 1 would be something like heroin, LSD,
You're good to go back in.
marijuana,
Next.
ecstasy, methadone, things like that. Those are Schedule 1. But Schedule 6 is different. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your name, sir?
Good afternoon, Arias.
Oh, he's
Arias.
very polite. Good
Last
afternoon.
name, sir. Yes, sir.
Roman name. Almost.
No, it's Spanish. Well, we got it from the Spanish, yes.
Just let the judge think it's Roman.
Sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say could be used against you in court. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing
He's
where
doing his
you
hair
can
in the
present
picture.
witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence.
Sir, I got a question before.
No, you don't. Not until I finished reading you your rights.
You can't have any
sorry, wrong with you,
questions.
sir.
You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Now, you had a very important question.
To interrupt me.
What was that?
Yeah. Oh, no, go ahead, go finish. My bad. I'm just overwhelmed with everything that's happening. I'm sorry.
He's polite, at least. That might get him some
Well, I'll
points.
probably go over what you're fixing to ask
Of course.
while we're doing this arraignment. I've only done several thousand of them. I have a little system. Sir, you're charged with domestic assault. You're also charged with evading arrest causing risk of death or injury. You're charged with failing to have your license plate illuminated.
Oh, that's a bad one. That's ROR right there.
Perhaps leaving the scene of an accident, perhaps.
There might be all sorts of stuff.
Duty upon striking fixtures of
Yeah, they wrote the report weird.
Sir, this is an excellent time for you to exercise your right to remain silent, because this is all recorded. The DA can look at it.
We can look at it.
Anybody in the world can look at it.
That's us.
Okay.
You need to talk about these kinds of things with your lawyer, because that is not public.
Okay.
Let's see if that sticks. See if that sinks in. Don't interrupt the judge, though. Never good to interrupt him. I think this might be this dude's first time in, because he seems wide-eyed, sort of thing. He's overwhelmed with this whole situation. Imagine someone being unsure about the charges they're going to stiff you with. Yeah, it's this is the time you find out, though. But I guess they, having never done it before, they might not know. Hey, shout out from the judge. If you don't have a light on your plate, how is the toll road going to read the record and send you a bill?
Can you tell me how long you've lived in the Knoxville area?
I lived here going on a year, sir.
The license plate eliminated was probably the initial reason for the stop.
And where is it that you work at?
I work at KC's on Merchants Drive. I've been working there for 6 months. I've been working for the past 6.5 months there.
The judge is always right. You are Roman now. Yep, it would be best if he just said yep at that point. Let the judge be right. Because although the judge doesn't have a ton of leeway, the magistrate here, he has some. And especially when it comes to bond and being flexible and things that you can choose when it comes to, the attorney he appoints, things like that. They don't change that often, but if you're really nice and really polite, you might get a little bit of leeway. This jail is located in Knoxville, Tennessee, Gene. 8 more members over on Discord, and you'd be to 200. If you haven't popped over there, do give it a quick check. If you need the link anytime you want, you could just put !Discord in chat, and that will pop up for you. When these on-camera eyes look down, I imagine seeing the RA's screen captions, pickle references on what the... Yeah, these guys would not understand as he's reading the chat. He works at the pickle factory.
You typed in your report, you typed 1 Charlie 111 to 1 Charlie 107.
Sir, can I say something?
All right, did you fill in one of these forms requesting consideration? Raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear the information that's filled in on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir.
That doesn't mean
talk.
talk.
You're curious what I've been doing. Well, what I've been doing,
we're all curious.
Got all these forms I got to fill out, and I got to get information off the computer to do that. So that's what I've been looking at.
I would not lead you astray. I'm telling you, those pickles are fantastic.
I was just trying to tell you, I got custody of both my kids, and I was just asking just for like a reasonable bond because of the situation that I'm in.
Well, the situation you're in, you got yourself in. There's our translator. She's getting ready. Generally, the judge will not look at...
Enter the chat.
Well, yeah, it's public. We need people to actually chat. That's what we need. We need people to talk over on Discord, and I'm guilty of that. I click a link and I start watching stuff, and I fall down a rabbit hole, and I forget to talk about it. I do have a tiny bit of a southern drawl occasionally. It's grown on me. It's funny when they raise the wrong hand, and he's like, "No, the other right." Nancy, the pickles I like, they're actually sold at Walmart under Sam's Choice, which is a Walmart brand, and it's called Spicy Maple Bourbon Pickles, which they're unbelievable. They do have a tiny bit of heat to them. They're not as hot as a pickled, jalapeno or something like that, and the heat doesn't last as long as a normal pepper. But they're a sweet pickle, sort of a bread and butter pickle that are just the flavor balance is perfect on them. They're fresh packed, so they're crisp. They're just everything good about pickles is in that jar. The great advice here. Here's the real situation. When you become a parent, live for your kids and quit breaking the law. If you care about your children, you obey the law and do what it takes for them to be there. My mother worked 2 jobs. Her husband at one point had 5. I've had several jobs. When I was working full time, I worked several jobs at the same time, or when I was going to school full time, and it was a lot of work. The other ones that are mango habanero are not good. Katrina, I believe you. I'm not a big fan of mango on its own, and then adding habanero with that extra heat. I think that's too strong of a flavor. I think you won't get the balance you need. So, stop scratching, please. I don't know. They're confronted with their own picture here as well. So they might just be trying to make it look better. Wooden toad. I can't think of a worse allergy. That is tragic. Is there any sort of cure for that? Oh, Nico. Yeah, it would be hard to ship them to Turkey. I know you can buy them on Amazon for way too much money, but I'm not sure if Amazon will ship them all the way to Turkey. And if they would arrive still in the jar or out of the jar. Yes, seriously. The inverted camera is the problem. It's like, well, I raised my hand, but it shows on the screen that's the wrong one. It's weird to get both in the same combination, but apparently use and sell was what she had in mind. Mars House, the Walmart that I have, I bought all the pickles. I think every single jar that was on the shelf, I bought over several weeks. And I went back knowing that I had purchased the last jar on my previous trip. And when I showed up, not only had they restocked, but they had 4 rows wide of the pickles that I like, the spicy maple bourbons. So I have changed their stocking pattern single-handedly in my store. And hopefully it stays that way. See, Wooden Toad? Yeah, that's a serious issue there. Do get that taken care of. Oh, that printer's super loud.
All right, sir. I'm going to appoint public defender's office to represent you in these charges. I'm going to waive the administrative fee because I believe they're representing you on some other matters.
Yes,
so
sir.
Not his first time then.
On your charge of evading arrest, risk of death or injury, I've set your bond at $750 because you have another charge of evading arrest that's pending. That has caused there to be a bonus on that bond.
That's a bad bonus, not a good bonus. So it would have been like $250, but he got a $500 bonus.
On your charge of domestic assault, I've set your bond at $500, and there are bond conditions associated with that. That was a charge that came up December 19th, and apparently they just not found you since then.
The problem is, sir, The victim lives in
Now,
Nope.
the victim lives in Gatlinburg. The victim lives in
Sir,
Gatlinburg.
you have a right to remain silent.
He
Now
told
you're
him.
interrupting me while I'm explaining your bond conditions.
Sorry about that, sir.
Oh,
He will have a chance to raise all these
you're
issues.
to have no
First with the
contact
lawyer,
whatsoever with
and
somebody
then the lawyer
named
will with the judge.
Destiny Monforto. No going around where she works or lives, no email, no Facebook contact, no phone calls, no text messages,
This should be a
no
soundbite here,
passing
right at the end.
messages through third parties or friends.
This part right here.
She is to think that you have dropped off the face of the earth.
I'll need to grab that for a soundbite.
You must remain in custody for at least 12 hours before being released, and you've probably already done that. Probably already been there 12 hours.
Alicia, by the way,
There's
welcome.
$500 bond on that.
Glad
so
you
your
could make it
total
to
bond
alive.
on these new charges is $1,200.
Happy New Year to you as well.
I'm sorry, $1,250. I'm scheduling your case for January the 4th. January the 4th, if you've not made bond, your attorney will be able to present arguments and evidence to the judge showing that your bond should be reduced or done away with, or your bond conditions should be changed.
Man, DMB, I didn't know blue
That'll
cheese and
be in
penicillin
felony court for that bond hearing.
were the same.
Because some of your other charges are in felony court. They want them all in the same court. Do you have any other questions, sir?
So once I pay the bond, I'll be able to
run
to get out of here, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so
But
much.
you'll miss that sheriff's special breakfast.
I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to go back to work.
He's not worried about that.
Your arraignment is complete.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that.
You can head back to the slaughter.
He was very polite, even though he didn't interrupt the judge a lot of times. Nico, thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Enjoy dinner. My son used Elmer's glue to put in his hair and twist it in spikes like that.
I think so.
Oh, my goodness. Elmer's glue.
Okay, let me turn on the light here.
Okay, here we have our translator, so we'll see how well this works. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. I like the
What
color
is your
blush
name,
she has,
sir?
the green.
¿Cómo se llama usted, señor?
Salvador Gines.
¿Salvador qué, por favor?
Gines.
Gines.
Genez?
Genez.
No. G-I.
G-I.
N-E-Z.
G-I-N-E-Z.
They've misspelled it in Jim's.
Lo deletrearon mal en la computadora, en Jim's.
So they spelled it
You
wrong on the
have
computer.
the right to remain silent.
Usted tiene derecho a guardar silencio.
Oh, my goodness.
You have a right to be represented by an attorney.
Usted tiene derecho a que lo represente un abogado.
You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you.
Usted tiene derecho a una audiencia preliminar donde usted puede traer testigos o pruebas en su propia que le favorezcan.
Courtney, I actually reached out to Walmart and told them that they should check their numbers, and they will see that there's been a significant increase in the sales of these pickles across the nation, and that I was responsible for that, and would they please consider sponsoring the show?
Yes.
They have not responded yet.
Did you fill in a form like this asking for an appointed attorney?
¿Llenó usted un formulario así pidiendo que se le nombrara un abogado nombrado? ¿Sí? ¿Llenó usted un formulario?
I don't know.
Yes.
Happy New Year, Georgia. I feel bad for people who have a language barrier that get caught in the court system, especially from another country. Because you can imagine, I mean, if I went to Russia, trying to understand the system and understand what my role is and when I could do different things, I'd be lost. I wouldn't know what's going on, what they're saying, anything like that. And depending on a translator here for everything But the translator's only there for the important bits. So his day in, day out, there may not be any guards there that speak Spanish that are able to communicate with him. It's a rough situation where you just don't know what's going on. Of course, there's the argument to not commit the crime in the first place to not get there. But sometimes, especially when you're in a foreign country, they're doing a check on the inmates in the background, just checking all the doors. Whoa, that was loud. Sometimes you don't know what the laws are. I mean, there are things that are perfectly legal in my state that if I cross the border into another state, suddenly I might be facing a felony type thing. I'm driving the pickles features up again. Single-handedly, I'm going to save this economy. That's what I'm going to do. And it'll be through pickles. He had the right to remain silent, but he didn't have the ability.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn.
Por favor, levante su mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Do you swear the information you put on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
¿Jura usted que toda la información que usted llenó en el formulario es verídica a su leal saber y entender?
I have a couple sound bites of this guy
I
already.
swear it.
Let's see.
Are you working anywhere, sir?
Señor, ¿está usted trabajando en alguna parte?
Sí.
Yes.
Where are you working at?
¿En dónde trabaja usted?
En construcción.
I work in construction.
And how much money each week do you earn?
¿Y cuánto gana usted cada semana?
350.
Linda, welcome.
350.
Happy birthday, or Happy New Year. It might be your birthday as well, but probably statistically I was probably wrong on that.
Can you tell me how long you've lived
Happy
in the
New
Knoxville
Year.
area?
¿Puede usted decirme cuánto tiempo ha vivido usted en el área de Knoxville?
3 años.
3 years.
Yeah, I think we're going to watch this one and wrap it up here. So if for some reason the information we have is wrong about the live streaming of the hearing this afternoon, if there is a feed, we'll go live with that. If there isn't, I won't.
All right, sir. You are charged with DUI, first offense.
Ooh.
Señora, usted se la acusa del primer delito de manejar ebrio.
You're also charged with reckless driving.
También se le acusa de manejar con descuido o temerariamente.
You are charged with improperly driving on roadways laned for traffic.
Se le acusa de manejar en el carril equivocado.
It seems like piling on. It's all basically DUI.
And you're charged with failing to exercise due care.
Se le acusa de no
I'm not a fan of DUI at all. But this is like hitting him with every single...
Do you understand what you are accused of?
¿Entiende usted la acusación en su contra?
Yeah, DUIs are going to be expensive. I think I may consume them at a higher rate than one at a time. Yeah. Good morning, Nana Geek. Good to have you here. Happy New Year to you. Ashley, it's confession time already. I once cut open a potato wedge with surgical precision to hide the slice of jalapeno in it and put it back on my sister's plate. She wasn't happy. Not a jalapeno fan, apparently. At least it wasn't habanero, right? Wow, I'm proud of me. I'm usually way late or miss the morning meetup. I made the whole thing today. Mars House, congratulations. You deserve all 3 of those prizes there.
All right, sir. I find that you do qualify for an appointed attorney.
Está bien, señor. Determino que usted califica para tener un abogado nombrado.
I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter.
I wonder what the qualification level is. I've never heard somebody come in here, fill out the form, and he say, "Nah, you don't qualify." Even
There
people
is
that
a
have property and
$50
cars and things like that.
associated with this appointment.
Hay unas cuotas de $50 asociada con este nombramiento.
That should be paid to the clerk's office on or before January the 16th.
Deberá pagarlo esto a la secretaria del juez antes del 16 de enero o el 16 de enero.
In the event that you're not able to take care of that before that date, more than likely it would be added on as part of your court costs.
Si acaso no llega a pagarlo para esa fecha, lo más probable es que se va a agregar como costo de la corte.
Probably a translator there as
Now, January the 16th is a holiday, and it's on a Monday.
El 16 de enero es un día festivo y cae en lunes.
It's a holiday.
So, actually, that puts it about the 13th that you'd have to take it Friday.
Oh, it's Martin Luther King Day.
Before
of course.
that Monday. Or I'm going to schedule your case for January 17th. That will be in DUI court for a preliminary hearing.
Entonces tiene que pagarlo para el 13 de enero, que es un viernes, o le voy a poner una fecha de corte el 17, que va a ser en la corte de manejar ebrio, que va a ser un martes.
Now,
based on
on
state
each
property
of
level.
these cases, you have been put on pretrial release or released on your recognizance.
So it's probably going to be the income more than the assets, right? So if you earn very little, even if you have a few assets, they're not going to make you like mortgage your house to pay for the lawyer. Is that what you're saying?
But there is apparently a hold for ICE that is keeping you in custody.
Pero aparentemente,
Immigration
adicionalmente,
issues.
lo tiene detenido ICE o la inmigración que lo tiene ahí bajo custodia también.
When you are released, if you have not met with the public defender's office, call them so that you will meet with them before your court date.
Si lo llegan a liberar, cuando lo liberen, háblele a la oficina de abogados públicos para que lo puedan ayudar en su fecha de corte.
Yeah,
Be sure to do that.
Does he know how to call the
because
public
if you go
defender's
to court
office? The language
2
barrier
weeks from now
can really create problems for him,
and
he
have
ends up
not met with your
getting
public defender,
sort of run over by the
the
system.
judge will be grumpy.
Asegúrese de hacer
What's the
eso, porque
translation
si
for
usted
grumpy?
no ha hablado con su abogado antes de su próxima fecha de corte, si llega a salir y no ha hablado con su abogado, el juez va a estar un poco enojado.
Court will be at 8:30 in the morning, I believe, is when they start.
La corte creo que empieza a las 8:30 de la mañana.
Do you have any questions, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta, señor?
¿Qué día sería el día de la corte?
So what would the court date be then?
Yeah, he's not
That will be
understanding all
for
of
the
it.
preliminary hearing. And it is possible all things could be resolved at that time.
She translated it to not
But it
happy.
doesn't always happen that way.
Está fijado para la audiencia preliminar ese día, el 16, January the 17th, right?
Yes.
El
That'll
17
be
de enero
Tuesday.
es un martes, 17 de enero es un martes y ahí tendría una audiencia preliminar ante el juez y podría resolverse el caso, pero no siempre ocurre ese día.
I'm surprised this magistrate did not swear in the translator.
Other questions?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Other courts that have
Very well. Your arraignment is
translators
complete.
present
Muy bien, se ha terminado su lectura de cargos. Gracias.
they'll swear in the translator and say, "Do you swear
And may the
to
interpreter
truthfully
have
translate?"
The docket number.
At 1475 794 795 796.
Okay, so Sandy, the men's voice you
And
hear
797.
that says
Thank you very much. Are we done then?
I think we're done.
that guy. I think we're done.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice evening. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Bye-bye.
Hope you're watching the ball game or something.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, sir. That's all I got for you.
Okay.
Very well.
All right. So the men's voice you heard is the justice. The woman with the green room in the background of the open door is a professional translator who's been authorized or certified by the court to translate from Spanish to English and English to Spanish. And then obviously the gentleman in the stripes would be the accused. Cannot find those pickles in any Walmart near me, says Nana Geek. Nana, they're sometimes hidden, and they're usually up on the top shelf. It's worth asking if you can find a helpful employee. It's worth asking them or going on the app online and seeing if they're in stock. Sometimes the app will show you if they're in stock. Let's see. Is the translator doing a good job at translating the legal jargon? Franco, that would be a great question. Do you think she did a good job with the translation? I've translated English to Norwegian. Believe me, it can get interesting. Sometimes they're not good, a good crossover word, an exact match. The meaning, although it's similar, might be different, and that little subtle difference might be enough to really create some fun situations. Most people don't understand why the translation can take longer to say than what it was said in English. Is that because to get the meaning right, they have to have more explanation? Hey, look who showed up. Top of the morning to you, Tag. Good to have you here. Thanks for all the chats on the burner phone as well, by the way. Yesterday, it was good talking to you. She is doing a good job, says Franco. I have seen some translators on the stand during trial not exactly translate properly.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
Why do we have Judge... where are we getting that one? Right here? Oh, it just... we got Daryl Brooks on replay is what's happening, so let me fix that. We've had enough of him for last year. I think we'll get some of him this year later, but not right now. Okay, we might get some of Judge Darrow on a sound effect, though. He'll get supervision. She did good. That's good to know. That one guy was still peeking out his window. This is all the entertainment he gets, really. One of my daughters is a Spanish interpreter in the funny stories. I'm sure there are some. It's good that...
I don't consent to that name.
Mr. Brooks heard his name and immediately protests. Helpful employees at Walmart, good luck. Yeah, I'm frustrated a little bit with my store. There are three types of employees now at my store. There are those that stock the shelves, and they do it all hours of the day and night and trying to get around to the crates and stuff that they're using, or they just block the whole aisle. And there are those that are picking up orders for the online orders, and they just barge through with their cart and grab what they need. And they're the people who stand there and watch you as you check out. Those are the three categories of Walmart employees. I guess there's a fourth because one goes out and occasionally brings the carts in from the parking lot. But getting help from one of them is difficult. Okay, could you repeat all that? I missed the first. What did you miss? What did you miss, Georgia? I'll happily repeat everything for you. Let's see. I enjoy this so much. I set my alarm for 8 to get my coffee ready, so I'm here at 9. The only drawback is I don't get nothing done, but that's okay, Nancy. Nancy, it's so good to have you here. Thanks so much for setting your alarm to be here. If you're first in chat, if you're the first one to show up in chat when it goes live, you win the internet. That's one of the prizes for the newcomers and the early birds, I guess I should say, in the channel. So that's something to look forward to. If you would like to own the internet, this is your opportunity. Cebu 2, don't get Judge Darrow's sound clips. We'll all just feel like 12-year-olds getting and telling off. No, she has some that are fun. She has some. Not all of them are her response to Daryl Brooks. I do like her personality. I miss the courtroom antics. It was fascinating to watch, and I loved it. But at the same time, it was frustrating because I like the system. I like the method, the process of court. I like the structure and how it works, and the arguments, the back and forth, and the objections, and just I like how structured the argument works. I like Robert's Rules of Order for that reason. I like to have a structure that you can work within a framework, and he did not. It was anywhere he wanted to go, Darrell Brooks went, and that part was frustrating. At the same time, it was entertaining because it was a circus, but I was frustrated at the same time. Little Miss says, I set my alarm for 8:30, but I can't get here on time. It's that snooze button, Little Miss. It'll get you every time. Everything in the first hour only. We just did roll call for the first hour, Georgia. You're good. Recently moved to New Hampshire from Florida. I found out that not all Walmarts are 24 hours. They close at 10 or 11 up here. Mine do as well. I was used to a 24-hour Walmart as well, which is super handy, especially if you like I used to do. I used to do a lot of fishing, and sometimes you'd leave at, very early in the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning to go fishing, and you'd need, I forgot, this, I forgot that. You could just stop by the Walmart and get it any time of the day. Not so here. Franco says, the recovery addict, I've been in vacation mode the last week. Can you catch us up to speed with the Idaho case over the last 5 to 6 days? Franco, there's only one big thing that happened in the last 5 to 6 days. Basically, the last you saw, probably they were looking for information about a white Hyundai Elantra. And there were 22,000 cars that fit that model and the year description that they were interested in. The only thing that's happened in the last week is that there was an arrest made in Pennsylvania of a gentleman who is 28 years old. His name is Brian, spelled with a Bryan. Koberger is the last name. And he was a doctorate student at WSU, and he's studying criminology, crime. He's a criminal justice major, I think would be what it was. But I don't know exactly the exact field within that he was in. Anyway, so he lived about 8 to 10 miles away from the scene where this happened. Apparently, he had some contact with one of the victims of some sort, one of the girls. I don't know what level that was, if they met at there's some speculation that they had met at a place where she worked, a restaurant. There's other people that say that he was romantically interested in it, and basically for me it's all speculation right now. I haven't seen the confirmation on that, but there was some degree of awareness of each other. Anyway, he probably mid-December, as had been planned since earlier in the school year, his dad flew out from PA and joined him in Washington, and they drove that white Hyundai Elantra across the country and drove it back home. And during that trip, I know they got 2 tickets. They got pulled over twice in, I think it was Indiana, once for tailgating, once for speeding. But they made it back home, and they were watched for a couple days. The FBI had possibly followed them during the trip, as well as watched them in PA very carefully because they're in a remote area. Before they had enough evidence to go ahead and proceed with an arrest, and he was arrested there. Today he has his extradition hearing at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, so that's going to be in about 5 hours. And he's said through his public defender there that he is not going to fight extradition, and the defender has said that he's looking forward to be exonerated and have his day in court, sort of thing. That's where we're at. So we don't know a lot. We know there seems to be a leak. At least CNN is saying they talked to someone who's confirmed that he was located, at least initially, through both the vehicle that he owned as well as DNA, a public DNA database, which would be fascinating because the way I envision that happening is that someone, a family member, had their DNA in the system. And with that family member in the system, there are enough similarities and matches that they could find him, and they could find family members of that person who happened to be in that area. So they just look for, it's like a Venn diagram, and say where things overlap, and he was in there. I don't know exactly what evidence they have as far as the actual crime on him, like physical evidence of the crime. They've already said they don't have the murder weapon, that they're still looking for the knife, and they all, just as late as yesterday they came out and said, we're still looking for tips, people that knew Brian and were familiar with him, had any sort of run-in with him, we'd like to talk to you. And they're also telling everybody, don't talk to the press. Don't talk to the press. Don't go out and let your story know. It's like, hey, we had a project together in high school. Let me tell you all about him. They say, don't do that. You might be a witness. And if they're a witness and they've gone out and talked to the press, that could be an issue. Anyway, easy for me to get help at Walmart. I use my Suzanne Sugarbaker voice. Excuse me. Works every time. Roxanne, we might need to hire you out to get help if we need to at Walmart. For that reason, I'll never be early, says Bella. I don't want any responsibility. Some days it's a good job. I will say that since I upgraded my internet and fixed my internet, since I ripped this piece, you've been looking at the back of my head this whole time. I need somebody to remind me of that. Sorry. Since I ripped this piece off my my cable modem, the internet has been great. It's been fantastic. This more than tripled the speed of my internet, and so this is junk. It's basically a splitter that puts 3.5 decibels of attenuation. So basically, it turns the volume down on the signal, and the internet was falling. It was dropping because it couldn't hear the signal. So I fixed it. Our court's open today. Yes and no. It's a short week because of the holiday. We are going to have a couple. You've got Young Thug, who's happening this week. If we go back over to Discord, if you're not open, seriously, if you've not gone to Discord, it's worth downloading Discord. It's worth learning how to use this because there's so much information over there. We've got Young Thug on the 5th. On the 6th, we have Death by Eye Drops. I think that's just a hearing. Let me just double check that one. Let's see, the court, it should be live streamed. Let me see the dates here. December 9th, motions hearing at 8:30, jury selection January 6th. So jury selection starts this week. That's where we're at with the Death by Eye Drops. And that is Judge Darrow, which will be fun. So we'll probably pick that one up. And then as we get further into the month, it gets crazy. And we start getting some really big cases that all the way leading up to the end of the month when Alex Murdaugh starts, when Sarah Boone starts at the same time. We've got some crazy ones, some big ones that I think Murdaugh starts next week. I'm not sure if that's that's on the 9th. Let's see if that's the jury selection or not. Okay. Murdaugh is going to be crazy. This is bizarre. It's fun to watch just because the team of lawyers he has working for him, they're like all A-listers. You know, they're big names. Hey, Mrs. R.A., did you need me?
YouTube dropped me, so I was checking to make sure you're okay.
Oh, okay. I'm here. She says YouTube might have had some issues. Hopefully, you guys didn't have any glitches. Especially as I was just saying that it's easy to manage the internet. Let's see where we are. So yeah, we've got nothing huge in court today other than this Idaho hearing for Brian Koberger. Changing the car plates. Yes, he did change his license plates on the car back to Pennsylvania plates, which means he took the Pennsylvania plates with him, which wouldn't be weird, because it was registered in PA when he drove out to Washington. And then as he's sort of a resident there, as he stays there, he registers the car in Idaho and gets Utah or Idaho plates there. So, see ya, AJ. Hope we get another live today. I hope so as well. Thanks for being here. You think his dad knew? I think his dad had questions because his dad had heard about it, I'm sure. Didn't miss his court hearing yet. And we heard originally, I thought that it was going to be broadcast, and now I'm hearing that PA does not broadcast those. It seemed weird to have that lined up for broadcast with just a few days from his arrest. Normally it takes at least a week to line that up. But we'll see. 3:30, check mark. Yep, that's when it's going to happen. And if there is anything live, if you guys see anything that's going to be live, or somebody who says, one of the big ones who says they're going to be live streaming it, send me a message on the burner phone as well. We'll all keep our eyes out for that. See, how's the pickle fund? We're doing great, Ann. Thank you so much. We've had some generous people who have contributed to the pickle fund, so thank you. There are a ton of videos by former friends on YouTube. There are, and the police hate it. Idaho police hate it. One more update as far as this Brian case. When he gets on Idaho soil, when they get him back to Idaho, which I think should be this week, they are going to formally charge him with all the charges, the 4 counts of murder and the burglary charge. And once that's done, that triggers a release of public information. And then the arrest affidavit from Idaho, not the PA arrest affidavit that we've already seen that has very little information, but the one from Idaho's gets released. And that I hope it does, but it may have more information about how they found him and why they had this probable cause to arrest him. Shauna says, gosh, Toxic, the channel is growing. Been out of pocket. Very good. I can be a member. Yes, do join Discord. It's got some great stuff. Those people are... My phone's dying. What did I do to kill the battery so soon today? Must have had something going in the background. The kids are playing with Marble Run in the background, if you hear that. We've got hardwood floors in this old house, and Marble Run is a toy. If you have kids or grandkids that like playing with little toys, not so young kids that they can't play with marbles, because this toy does have marbles in it. So I wouldn't do little kids that put stuff in their mouth. But a Marble Run is the most amazing toy. It's a whole bunch of different pieces that fit together like tube style that nest inside each other and build up a tower. And the different pieces have a little run, a little track that the marble races down and can jump and spin around and go down drains and split and wiggle and go down bumps and things. It's just a fun little race. And the kids have been playing with it nonstop since pretty much Christmas. And it's great. So there, we should get sponsored by Marble Run as well, because you guys hear it in the background all day. Do you know if Brian's dad is also under suspicion, or if he's spoken about how his son behaved on the way home? MB, all we know is that the parents have basically released a statement saying, hey, we're completely caught off guard by this, and at the same time, we love our son. We're going to support him, and he's got the presumption of innocence, and that's about it. So we don't know much about that, and I'm sure the police have told them not to talk to the public, or at least the lawyer has. I just checked local Walmart online and found the pickles on aisle 47. Yippee! Everyone race down to aisle 47. See if you can get some pickles, because Tina's found them. Let's see. Hardwire or Wi-Fi? Jim Bob, I'm a Hardwire fan. So I've got a cable modem with gigabit internet, which translates to about half that speed. But upload is really what kills me. But I normally have 3 or 4 live streams coming in that we're monitoring, and I can see on my screen up here behind me, I'll have different video feeds going, so I can watch several different feeds and sources. So in case one drops or somebody has other information, I can switch that around for you guys and provide that to you. So I have a lot coming on the download, but on my upload, I'm uploading a 1080p live stream, and so I needed the increased bandwidth for the upload bump, which seems to be a little bit better because we haven't had as many buffering issues. Tornadoes today, says Exodus 5. Just, scattered tornadoes. Bring your umbrella. You have a fantastic memory. I really don't, Nancy. How did I fool you? I might have it written down in front of me. That's how I remember. Abby says she's not feeling well today. Send her love. Oh, Katrina, that's a bummer. Abby, if you're listening now, please get feeling better. Can't wait to have you back here at full health. Let's see. Pauline says, all right, did they ever come back to your house about the cable? No, they were scheduled to, and then I got a recorded message from the internet provider that says, our computer system shows that the issue has been fixed. And the only option was to say, yes, it has been fixed. And so it was basically, if you still don't have service, click this. Or if the service is connected, click this. I click the connected one. It's like, all right, we've canceled the appointment. It's like they were not going to come out. But it is working, so I guess it's okay. But have fun at the nail appointment, Samantha. Good to have you here today. We expect pictures, Samantha, for sure. If you get some, I want to see pickles on the fingernails. Who's going to do that? I'm not painting my nails. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. But if you guys get your nails painted and have pickles on them, I think that would be funny, and it would look amazing too. We're building our house here and had all cables buried. We're the only ones with power and internet during this last storm. Yeah, that's we have everything above ground, and I constantly have to trim back bushes and stuff so that doesn't interfere. Amber Lucas says, Recovery Addict, just an FYI, the extension XXX murder trial is likely to be continued as the defendant recently tested positive for COVID. Okay, which one is that, Amber? XXX Temptation? I'm not sure if spell checker changed that. We're not talking about OnlyFans, are we? I don't think the family knows what he's done. I doubt he's confessed, especially if he says he's looking forward to being exonerated. Shauna says, "Wow, your channel is getting so big. I'm glad and proud. You guys made it big. This is not me. This is you guys being here, and I am super grateful. You guys, this is a dream come true to do this, and so I'm living my best life right here, and just happy to be able to go along for the ride. You guys are amazing." Let's see. Might lose power. Yeah, please stay safe. If you've got some storms coming through, please give the weatherman in your local area a lot of attention, and please stay safe. Don't take risks. What's the name of those pickles again? I'll probably have to make a link for that, but it is. Let's see if I have them up on a. I think I have a picture I can share with you. They're spicy maple bourbon pickles, and they're sold by Sam's Choice. Let's see. And of course, I don't have the pickles. I thought I had a picture. Let me see if I can pull it up. Close that. There they are. I will go ahead and share this one with my computer. Right there. We'll bring the picture in. Load it into the media player. If you watch our little intro video, it loaded it sideways. Why? I can't fix that. Okay, so we have to rotate it. If you watch the intro video, sorry, I had a squirrel moment there. If you watch the intro video and saw the little button pushing thing, that's what I'm doing basically all the time behind the scenes to make things work. So that's why I shared that portion. I love that part. I love the tech side of doing this. Let's see. Here, let's see if this one loaded the correct way. There we go. Okay, so these are the pickles right here. These are spicy maple bourbon pickles. Fresh pack pickle chips, and I love them. They make the world go round. If you've never had these pickles, you've never had pickles. That's how it is. They're fantastic. One day I hope Walmart will sponsor the channel. Not all of Walmart, because I don't want to represent their awful checkout methods and things like that. But the pickles, just the pickles themselves. So, and my green screen's acting up too. Okay, we'll get a lot of things fixed today. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else we need to cover here. Shauna, welcome to the gallery. Thanks for becoming a member. I just saw that pop up. Did I miss that? I was not paying attention, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Okay. Ryan broke 1 million subs. RA is next. Exodus. That would be crazy. I honestly, I hope it doesn't get that big. Because what I like about this channel is what we have right here, where I can read everybody's comments and just hang out and know people and know what's happening in your life and things like that. I'm not sure if I could keep that same level with that many people. So hopefully we just find a nice level and stay there. Long Crime is saying they're covering the BK hearing. Sharon, they're going to cover it, but they're also saying that the cameras aren't allowed. So I'm not sure which one it is. If they are allowed, we'll be there as well. Because there's plenty of interest. There will be plenty of sources that will be taking that feed. Do I have a pickle scented air freshener in the car? Inquiring minds. Laura, I don't. I do have a Lucky Care Bear that hangs from my rearview mirror. My family decided at one point, my family being my siblings, decided at one point that we all needed a Care Bear in our vehicle. And so everyone got a Care Bear. And because I was into metal detecting, I thought, well, I'll go with Lucky. And so I have a Lucky green Care Bear hanging from my mirror. They do not come in spears, Courtney. These ones only come in chips. But they are available from other brands, like a similar type. I haven't tried them, but there are similar brands that I might have to reach out to that have a similar flavor, like a spicy maple bourbon. But they just call them like spicy whiskey pickles or things like that. I like these ones because I don't drink, first of all, and there's no alcohol in them. All the alcohol is cooked off in the brining process. There are others that the pickles, I think, have to be sold in the alcohol section because you can drink the juice and have a totally different experience. Let's see. Weather Watch, are you giving updates here? It's certainly a day to take precautions. Weather Watch is amazing. Great guy. Hopefully one day, Weather Watch, you're going to have a YouTube channel up that we can collaborate often. I know we've had you on before. We'll have to do that again. The nightmare's over. I've returned with toilet paper. Wooden Toad, the battle, the struggle is real. You were successful. Congratulations. Hello from Germany. Now you're international. Vera, thank you very much. I think you might be our first watcher from Germany. I'm not sure if you're a subscriber yet. It doesn't show me here. If you aren't, do feel free to hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here often. And hello from Germany. Hello to Germany. Good to have you here. We have a few people from the UK and from Ireland. We have some in New Zealand, South Africa, a couple from Australia. Let's see, where else do we have? We said Canada, right? Definitely have some from Canada. Don't waste your money on the habanero ones. Right, they sit right next to them. Do not grab them on accident. It's a different experience altogether, and I don't think it's good. Thank you, Toxic. I'm going to take a look at that. Even if it's an outside feed, we might go live with it if they're going to go live during the hearing, because as soon as it's over, we'll have the first information out there. Germany's on the bucket list. That would be, I tell you, there's some things I want to get, and a clock, a cuckoo clock from Germany is on that list. One day when I'm rich and famous and have time to travel, I might have to head over there and find myself a clock. My grandfather had one on the wall, and it was so much fun to see. We'd sit around and watch and wait for it to come pop open the door. Let's see. Brian Enton is outside the courthouse for us all. He is great. We'll keep an eye on Brian for sure. Let's see. 10 a.m. for the BK hearing on law and crime. They're gonna have a lot of just discussion of the facts that we know right now. So basically, until the hearing goes on, there's nothing else. Case to follow. Jade Jenks. Franco, tell me a little bit about Jade. Let me see if it's on the Discord here already. Jenks. I'm not seeing it on Discord yet. Let me do a quick Google on this one. Let's see. Back in December 21, Jade Jenks found guilty of killing stepdad who stole. It's got some naughty pictures issues. So she's already, Jade Jenks is already found guilty. She maintained her innocence throughout the trial, insisting she did not kill him, instead claiming he died of an illness. The DA said it was murder by design. She's a local butterfly activist. Or he was a local butterfly activist. Man. So this one just finished. Seems bizarre. I mean, it reminds me of Powell, the dad in Powell, in the Sarah Powell case with Josh Powell. If you remember that one, Sarah Powell went missing. Josh Powell drove out into the desert, took his kids camping, and his wife disappeared, and they never found her. Let's see, I'm going to follow up. Let's see. Sorry, I just missed where I was in chat. Just shared a video of a guy who's recently stopped and wanted in a cold case dating back to 1994. I'm going to have to check that. I know the burner phone's sort of been blowing up this morning. I have sort of been ignoring it, so I apologize for that. But I will try. I try to respond to every single person who reaches out on the burner phone. Bella, I see your picture. You got 2 jars of pickles next to the live stream. That is awesome. Give JB a yell. We have not done that in a while, Debbie, for sure. JB has reached out to me and let me know that he does watch, that he connects every day, that his son has helped him get on the live stream and be notified every time we go live, which is amazing. He does watch on a television that doesn't allow him to chat, but he has called on numerous occasions. He's called the burner phone and just left a message and said, hey, he wants to just say to all the addicts how much fun this is and how much he's enjoying. Really, he's discovered the internet through this program. He's never really had use to do that, and so he's learning a lot about that as he goes along and finding just some crazy stuff out there that he's just enjoying doing. So he's said just to say hello to everybody. So hello, JB, up in Canada. Good to have you there as well. Did anyone see a video of the prayer vigil for Idaho 4? Some sleuths found a guy that looks just like BK walking by. Oh my goodness, Mars House. What was the date of that? Because we know he left Idaho, he left Washington for PA like the middle of the month. Would that line up with the timeline of him being there? Or was it just a coincidence as far as like a doppelganger or something? We have Ireland here. Yes, we do. It's not really sweet pickles. I'd say they're slightly sweet, and the maple is different, and then the heat. It's like different parts of your tongue feel.
Address subject matter jurisdiction.
We should do that. We should definitely do that. It's the flavor is fantastic. That's all I can say. If you actually absolutely hate bread and butter pickles, like sandwich pickles type thing, you might not like these as much, but I think the mix is fantastic. It's really good. Definitely not a dill, though. Shauna says, thanks, guys. I've been here from day one, just shy. Yes, you have. Appreciate you every day. What time is the trial? Old dude, the trial for Brian Koberger is at 3:30 at Eastern time. And it's not really a trial. That one is going to be a hearing, and it could just be minutes long. I mean, like, if they go live from the courtroom, it could be more time setting up the camera and waiting for the judge to walk in than the actual trial takes. Because there's going to be no speaking. There's probably not going to be any. There's no plea. It's just we waive the right. Okay, all right. It's rubber stamp. Let's go next. So that'll be fast. Got the hiccups. Let's see. Weather watch, will the freezing temperatures last past tonight? We'll have to see. So he might have replied already in chat. Let's see. Christy, good morning. Good to have you here. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. I think I've answered all the questions. And if we have, we might be ready for a break. We're going for a couple hours here this morning, and we'll take a break until just before that live stream, as long as that happens. Several sources are saying they will be showing BK down the hall into the courtroom, and they're allowed to film that, so that will be something to see in a few minutes. Okay, Tina, he's probably not going to be there until like half an hour or so before the... So maybe if we go live an hour before, if we go live at 2:30 Eastern time, which would be in 3.5 hours. Bet you those pickle spears would make excellent pickle wraps. These are very crisp pickles. Sometimes spears can be a little mushy, but these are very crisp. And they're delicious cold. I will say, if you buy these pickles, throw them in the refrigerator for an hour or two before you give them a chance. Hey, Missy Pants, good to have you here. Let me know if there's something else, or maybe you hit return. There we go. Sitting in the Arizona airport, heading home to snowy Minnesota. Yeah, that's a bit of a change from Arizona to Minnesota. Be prepared for that cold shock, but you're probably familiar with it. I will say I ordered a mouse pad because you guys hear this mouse clicking on my desk. I ordered a mouse pad and I've designed it with the picture from Stephen Lee, the one that we used a lot in previously before we had a video. Let's see if I can pull it up. It's this one right here. It's this guy. So I use this. We made a mouse pad with that on it, and it should be arriving here the next day or two. And hopefully it's good. If it is good, I'll put a link out for it. And I also designed a shirt that I still need to get a sample of that says "Hot Mic Lover" on it. It's got some artwork as well. So we'll see if they turn out good. I'll share the links. They're already out there, so I know some of you sleuths that might have seen them already. But if I want to test them first, I don't want somebody to buy it without me being able to look at the quality and say, yes, this is something I'm willing to put my name on. Heavy D Sparks, Heavy D, yeah. Tried checking out a mine where they thought she might be. It didn't work out. He does some amazing stuff. For those of you who don't know, Heavy D, they're the Diesel brothers. They're based out of Utah. I think out by. I used to work actually very close to where they're based out of by Redwood Road. And they got big on YouTube. They got huge, and it's allowed them to do a lot of things. And one of the things they do is help people out. And so they got this cold case issue with Susan Powell, and they said, the state doesn't have resources to check these mines, but we do. There are places they won't go in, but we will. And they did some really risky stuff, trying to follow up on a tip. And unfortunately, we're not able to really develop anything, but. It was nice that they gave an effort. Let's see. A murder phone. No, it's a burner phone. It's a burner phone. It's in the crime nuggets part. I'll have to look at that. We won't have the timeline for Idaho until he's in Idaho, I think. Once he's charged in Idaho, then some dates will start getting set. He'll be arraigned or whatever. He's going to be held without bond. He's not going to get out on bond. I'm not sure I believe it was in the beginning. If it's not him, we all have a twin somewhere. This is true, and I can't remember where I saw it. Yeah, there's I've seen myself in a video where I wasn't there. I mean, it's like that guy is me. It's like somehow we ended up with the same genes as far as appearance goes, and he's me, and I've never been there. So I believe that. We all have a doppelganger somewhere. Help, oven pizza or beans on egg and toast for dinner? Ashley. Beans and toast, it takes me back in the day. I loved that when I was over in England. But oven pizza is also a winner for me. I'm going to have you flip a coin on that. Let's see, when is the hearing? It's at 3:30 this afternoon. We'll go live probably an hour before that. As long as I'll verify that there's a feed, there's something to watch, like a live feed, and then we'll go live that way. How does he get back to Idaho? He will have a ticket paid for him by the state of Idaho. They have an interest in returning him. It will not be at his expense, but he'll have a ticket and he'll have a companion or two to bring him back, and he'll probably be cuffed for the duration and shackled for the duration of the trip, because of safety reasons. So they'll either charter a plane or have him, unfortunately, in first class in a plane that where they have him sitting by the window and a guard next to him. Let's see. We have some relief coming in the coming weeks. That's good to know. The weather's been bizarre, especially up in New York with how much snow they've gotten. Utah's got a ton of snow. They've needed it. I mean, most of the West has been in a drought for years. Chat helped me decide on pizza. We should have put it to a vote. I think that would be better. Heavy D was on cable for a while. Yeah, I think that's how they started with the Diesel Brothers show, and then they went on with YouTube and did phenomenally well. He's a good person. He's got a huge heart. He's got a huge personality as well, but he's just a genuine, generous person. who likes to have fun. Greg says, just subscribed. Pullman to Moscow here. Wow. You're on the ground right at ground zero. So we might need updates from you, Greg. Greg, you are hereby adopted. Yeah, and you need to know that you can't leave now. I mean, I'm trying to put that as nicely as I can, but once you're here, you're here. So, but you are welcome. I think you'll find you've got some great people here in chat. 4 members until we hit our goal. 200. We're so close. Toxic, we'll stay on. We'll live stream until you hit the goal today. How about that? Do we know the exact time for the hearing? 3:30 p.m. Ernest, for Brian in Pennsylvania. So here's the link in Discord. If you need it anytime, do it. WeatherWatch did right here. Hit the ! Discord. Click the link and download it and join. It's got a little bit of a learning curve to get started, but I promise you, if you like true crime and you like having information, you wonder, if you don't want to have to search all of Google to find when a case is happening or where something's at, or what happened with this case. This is what you want. You want to go to join this Discord page. They do such a great job of collecting just a ton of information, from documents to public news stories, videos. It's all out there, and they do just a great job. So please give them a follow. Join over there on Discord, and then sign in and talk. I'll do better at this myself. I'll go over there and we'll talk. We'll chat sometime. Don't let Mrs. Ari know her husband is on your mind so often. Yep. No. Mrs. Ari is in chat almost always. Sometimes she's not able to type, but she's almost always here, and I love her for it. Since you do true crime, maybe some home security companies would sponsor you. There's an idea. Like the Ring doorbell type company type thing. That would be fun. Actually, I'm thinking about getting one of those, so maybe I have to pursue that. I also heard he had a date with one of the girls. It ended badly. So, Shauna, this is what we're trying to hammer down. I don't know if it's confirmed that he ever dated one of the girls. I know that's one of the suspicions. It's also, I've heard also that he may have tried to date her, met her while she was working at the restaurant and tried to ask her out, and that it didn't happen type thing. So I don't know. I'm not sure which one it is. We just know that there's some sort of connection between him and one of the girls. Carol Martin, I missed you for a few days under the weather. Hopefully you're feeling better, Carol. Please get healthy, and thanks for coming back to poke in and say hi. Anything we could do for you, let us know. But good to see you here today. A little bit of buffering. It should be quick. It should be, might not be on your side. Let's see. Might be on your side. I happen to know from that your internet connection is probably good, so I'm not sure what's causing it. Sleuths fell for tunnel vision trap. Don't look for golf balls in the forest because all you find is hundreds of button shrooms. I read that as bourbon. Not sure what's on my mind. In and around every rabbit hole. Attention deficit. Oh, shiny disorder. I fall for that. My doppelganger's my older sister. We're 2.5 years apart, but look like identical twins. Do you ever switch places? Have you ever? For those of you, either if you have a twin or do have a doppelganger, have you ever tried to be the other person? Not in a legal setting where it would be a crime, but got a little addict here poking his head in. Let's see, sounds like a good plan. We're going to stay here for just a little bit. 246 addicts in here. Wow, crowded. A little bit. We're all excited about this afternoon, about the hearing and what will happen. We know what's going to happen, but there might be a tiny bit more information that comes out. PA doesn't have a lot of it. Basically, they just did the work for Idaho and taking him into custody, so they're not sitting on the case files and going through and get information. But they did talk to him for 5 to 15 minutes. He agreed to talk to police. So the way it sounds like he waived his Miranda rights for 5 to 15 minutes and was speaking with police before he lawyered up. And so they do have a little bit of information, possibly even if it's just a few sentences worth. It might be interesting. They probably won't tell us what that is, though, because it's evidence. Still looking at green lawns here in Nova Scotia. Yeah, wintertime here in the part of North Carolina that I'm in means that we only mow our lawn once a month instead of every week. That's how you know it's wintertime. We went from minus temps to now 67 degrees. Crazy, it will kill the trees. Oh man, if they start blooming now, Carol, that would be awful. I'm not sure if they've had enough time with they've had a long enough winter to cause it to do that. It is Hotel California here for sure. Glad you're here, Greg, for sure. We got pizza. Yeah, somebody got pizza. I haven't seen it yet. How do you gift memberships? Courtney, I think once you have a membership, you can purchase gift memberships. And that I've never done it, but I know that I have not found a way to be able to gift it to specific people. YouTube determines who gets the gift, and they say they base it based on who's active and participates in the channel. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's supposed to reward people who aren't members of the channel. First of all, they can't be a member already, and then in addition, they have to be active. So you wouldn't have somebody who just accidentally clicked on the button, shows up when a gift is given out, and they get a gift. It's designed to not do that. The Discord really is a wealth of info. It is 100%. I made Tag's casserole recipe last night, and it was great. So we have a confirmation tag that the tater tot recipe is well worth an effort, and I think that is up on Discord as well. I think that's where Weatherwatch got that. So if you're into a tater tot casserole, which I think Mrs. RA I'm gonna ask her to make in her next batch of dinners that she makes for us. I think it'll be a hit. I like tater tots. I always have. Let's see, $. Oh, it doesn't work on Apple products. Most things don't work on Apple products for some reason. The Apple gets in a fight with the vendor, being YouTube, because Apple wants a piece of every pie, and the vendor says no, so they just turn it off on Apple. Just watched. Who was that? Just watched somebody. Just watched Brian ushered into courthouse. Did I miss it? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Let me go back. We'll watch this here. Okay. That's not it. Okay. Does not want me to search today for some reason. See, watch live, Idaho student murders, suspect in court. So it's not live yet. I'm not seeing it live. I'm seeing they're going to go live at noon. So Rowdy, where did you see the? I didn't see that. Shauna, we're all pretty interested in this case, especially if he waives his right to a speedy trial. So we'll end up having the whole murder and the case all happen in the same year, which would be amazing. Mrs. RA, I watched your video yesterday. 2 thumbs up. I only have an 8-year-old grandson. Oh, that's awesome, Bella. I'm sure she appreciates it. Mrs. RA, my wife, has a channel focused on homeschooling. It's called Homeschool Ground Zero here on YouTube, and she's amazing. I didn't know whether my modem has anything to do with buffering, but my fiber is faster than my modem. Yeah, fiber is quick. I wish I still had fiber. My daughters pretend to be one another all the time and pass. They're 2 years apart. When you say something funny, I start laughing, and my cat looks at me like I'm crazy. We have a couple pets that watch the show, especially when it comes to like police chases and things. Will they film it, says Carol? We don't know. We've heard mixed things. Initially, we heard they would, and then we heard they wouldn't. They might not allow the court room to actually have a live camera feed, but we'll have reporters in there. So they'll give us, like, after the fact what happens. We know what's going to happen, though. We were just hoping to catch a glimpse of him. What's your next live case for us addicts? Well, and we were just talking about that a minute ago on Discord. There's a couple things that are coming up. If you look at the court calendar section on the Discord, Young Thug is happening this week, and it's about the only thing on the 5th. So that's in 2 days. And then we have Death by Eye Drops on the 6th, which I think will be our main one for this week. That is Judge Doro. And we love her, and it's going to be a case that without a sovereign citizen, but it's a murder case, death by eye drops, so it'll be interesting. It's like Visine was used to poison someone. Let's see, be careful in the snow, keep it over there, please. We have freezing rain expected here. I have not had any of that bad weather. We got a little bit of rain, that's it. He went to University of Washington, or Bundy went to University of Washington, not WSU. Okay. Yeah, I know Brian was at WSU. My sister's a junior high teacher, and we switch places all the time to mess with the kids. The office staff knows, but the kids don't. Are you also a teacher, MB? That's funny. Does like she call in sick and you show up instead? There is a live plan for BK today. It's tentatively on the books. We need to make sure there's a live stream available. It looks like Law and Crime is going to have it. I'm going to look. I think WFLA is going to be there as well. So I'm tentatively saying yes.
I don't consent to that name.
Well, Mr. Brooks, until you give us another name, we're going to call you that. Let's see. BK sounds like a villain from Criminal Minds. It's easier than Brian Koberger. His name doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Okay, I'm a true addict, holding phone to ear at a nail appointment as your nails are getting painted with pickles, right? Only media without cameras. So that's what we're hearing, Dallas. Initially, we heard that media would be allowed, and everyone said, "Oh, yes, we're going to live stream it then." But they're saying yes, media is allowed in person, but no cameras, which was sort of a letdown. But still, the actual trial in Idaho, I think, will be televised. I know we have a join button, so I have no clue how to get gift membership. Well, that's because you joined already, KQD, and thank you for that. I appreciate that. Brian has a video. Let me see if I can pull that up on my phone just briefly. Brian has got a ton of amazing links on this. He's really been on the ball here. Let's see. Not working. Why is it doing that to me? Brian Ensign. Okay, so here we go. Let me bring this up. I do like this video. I'm going to pull it up from my Twitter on my phone. So hold tight just a second. Turn on Do Not Disturb so no messages show up with somebody's phone number on accident. So hold tight just 1 second here. Let's go to, let's see, I'm on camera 6. Okay, so here we go. This is from Brian Ensign.
Brian, why did you do it? Are you ready to go to Idaho? Why did you do it? You last time in Pennsylvania, Brian.
People are shouting questions to him. Let's see if we'll loop through this one more time. So here he is out of the sheriff prisoner transport.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling, Brian? Why did you do it? Are you ready to go to Idaho? Why did you do it? The last time in Pennsylvania, Brian.
I didn't get the last question. A lot of why did you do it? How are you feeling? But it's rainy. It looks like he's in the courthouse now. He's just waiting. He's pretty early. So that might be the best feed we have of him. I don't know if he'll be coming out that same window or that same door.
Are you ready to go to Idaho? Why did you do it?
Why did you do it? I still don't get what he said there about Pennsylvania. Okay, so thank you for that link, Golden Mom. Appreciate that. You often come through with great information like that. Okay, let me get my burner phone back. So he's in the courthouse. Let's see. Amber says, seriously, she's got a homeschooling channel? I need that channel, please. It's the last year for my senior, but I plan to homeschool my 2-year-old when he's of school age, and I need help. Amber, yes, it's Homeschooling Ground Zero, and she is amazing. She's a phenomenal wife and an amazing teacher. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Yeah, I know, I follow him, so I knew who you were talking about. Autocorrect's gotcha. He's got an interesting last name. Let's see, are there any instructions on how to navigate the Discord? I confuse. Yeah, there is a little video, an intro video, I believe. Maybe Toxic or Abby could link that on how to use Discord. But just joining, and basically on the left-hand side of the screen, you can scroll up and down through a bunch of different sections on the page. And each section, they're grouped into categories. So it might be easiest if you shrink all those categories down and then open the one you want to use and then close it when you're done. That way it's not completely crowded because there's a lot to scroll through there. Tater Tot, love the name. Should have been here 2 hours ago, but at least you're here. Thank you very much. First time with recovering addicts, says Greg McNeely. Big thumbs up. Let's see. I think he says last time in Pennsylvania. Something like that. Why'd you do it? Well, let's have a press conference right here. You know, he wasn't going to answer, but sometimes people do. Sometimes when they get shouted out a question, they'll yell back or they'll respond, and that's what they were going for. Yeah, I hate that kind of journalism, but it's the paparazzi style. But sometimes it works. Sometimes it gets things. MB says, I'm a therapist but don't practice at the moment. I don't go in to teach, just mess with the kids. They're such an easy target. Right, we try not to use LNC. If for no other reason, they don't play very nicely with fair use. So news channels are a little bit better. Let's see. Any other questions here? Very good to see BK going into the courthouse dressed in red gear. Red, great idea. Yep, he's going to have an outfit like that probably for the rest of his life if things go as I anticipate. Okay. Bella, let's see. Bella says, I wasn't here until DB. Yeah, that was the beginning, Bella. I started live streaming the end of October, and it's been a crazy little over 2 months. Amazing at the same time. I've learned something every day and found out just how little I know at the same time every day. And you guys have been super patient all along the way as I'm learning and making mistakes and that. But it's been so much fun. Let's see. Golden Mom's fantastic. She sent us some great stuff previously as well. I just subbed to Mrs. RA's channel. Thank you very much, Amber. She does a great job. And if you have questions, she's pretty responsive on her chat as well. She doesn't do lives, though. I don't do pre-recorded videos, and she doesn't do lives. She's great on recorded video, and I'm awful on it. I stumble over my words. For some reason, I need you on the other side of the camera to talk to. And if I have to think about what I'm going to say and then try to present it, it does not end well. It's no good. Okay, let's see, they're harassing him for us, says Georgia. They are, for sure. Law and Copyright Channel. There's some truth to that. Billy Wagner court date added to calendar in Discord, so we've got another of those cases. What does eyedrop murder start? The 6th, Nancy. I think that's jury selection on the 6th. Yes. Okay. I need to get a new mouse. This one is jumping around all over the place. Flying gavels, we have those as well. Fight. I thought I had a fight. I've got that magistrate with the sound effect.
By gosh, go down and fight them in front of the Walmart.
Yeah. I have some fight 'em sound effects. WFLA has a link up for BK. I'll pull up WFLA here on this one. If we wait much longer, we're just going to have to stay live the whole time. Let's see. I'm not seeing the link from WFLA. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's from 3 days ago. There's a live stream. They'll go live in 3 hours, but I've got the link, so we've got that pulled up. I do prefer that link over LNC. So thank you for that, Ann. Very much appreciate that. Hanging out in Discord chat if anyone wants to talk and hang out later. If I don't go live, if I'm not live, I'll pop over there. My sister is a social butterfly, and I'm a hermit. I can't go to Walmart without people thinking I'm her. I used to correct them. Now I just go with it. That's an interesting balance between the two of you. If they think you're the same person, they're like, yesterday you were all bubbly and talkative, and now you're all shy. What happened? DB Trails, how I found this channel. Yes, Ginger, you were one of the OGs. You're an OG addict, for sure, Mr. 80s as well. Okay. My mouse is really acting up. Julianne Marley says, I'm a quadriplegic, broke my neck, age 19 in a horse riding accident. I'm in Northern Ireland, and 2 p.m. is the highlight of my day. Love your slow, especially your sexy voice. Well, Julianne, I do what I can for you. I'm sorry that you're dealing with things that I've never had to deal with, and I don't know. I can't imagine what that would be like. But I appreciate your positivity and you joining. If there's anything I could do to make your day better, I would. But thank you so much, and say hello to Northern Ireland from Leanne. I've never been there. I've been to England, but I've never been to Ireland. But welcome. Thanks so much for being here. I'm here because Law and Crime had like 3,000 people in chat, and there was no communication or community. Wooden Toad, you know, the problem we've had, I have had over 2,000 people in our chat here, especially on like verdict day for DB, and it got crazy. And I was still learning. I was like brand new at this, and it was a mess. We had trolls going all over the place. We had all those little, those inappropriate links people are trying to post and things. And it's like, I didn't even know what to do. That's when I threw a bunch of our mods under the bus and said, hey guys, you've been here from day one, which was like a week ago, please help. And they stepped up and just did a great job, and they've given me some pointers along the way. And now we have some better ways to deal with that. There's still going to be days, actually I hope there are days when we get a lot of people in chat, because a lot of people out there in this community, in this field of true crime are like you. And we could use some more friendly people like you. But we want to be able to weed out some of the trolls and not have a lot of the problems they have. It's a balancing act. And there will be days when it's a little bit rougher than others. So I just ask you, knowing that may come on different days when the internet's full of trolls and people who just want to rile people up, just be patient with them. Hang in there. Know that what we have here is going to continue, and we'll get through that. Discover You all this past month at the cop trial. Yes, Georgia, that was a fun one as well. I got a wireless silent clicker mouse, and I love it. I think with my mouse pad, it will be quiet enough that the clicks won't be a problem. That should arrive here soon. Let's see. Carol says, I signed up but don't know how it works, so I've never been back. Carol, if we can get you to give it a try again, maybe if somebody can post the link of how Discord works, that might be useful. Let's see. Okay, I have an old Dell mouse from the 2005, still works right. This is an old HP mouse, wooden toed. I believe, might be confessing to a felony, but I believe this at one point belonged to the federal government. But in the process of returning computers when I was finishing up with work, they listed what I was supposed to include in the box, and they did not want the mouse back. So I have the mouse still. So come and get me if that's a crime. But I was following instructions. I don't know what to do with the mouse. We need a special emoji that we all means I'm choking a troll, but they don't know. MB, you've suggested this, and I like this. Basically, it's a time where all of us who know what this channel is about and know what we're like here and how we're civil and everything. It's how we can all look at each other and be nod knowingly without at the same time insulting half the people who don't know what it means. So I like that. If you have some suggestions. I don't think it can be a troll picture because that might be a little too blatant. But if you have some suggestions, let me know. I've come a long way in my skill in making emojis, so I might be able to make that for you. And I think I have two more open emoji slots with how many subscribers we have. So let's see.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
We can address subject matter jurisdiction for sure. If you actually want to know what subject matter jurisdiction is, we can even address that too. Idaho does have the death penalty. There's no insanity defense in the trial phase, but can be used in the sentencing phase as a mitigating factor, FYI. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. For the death penalty, do they need to also have that burglary charge in there? Does there have to be the murder while in commission of another crime? Or can just a murder and then another murder and another murder at the same crime, can that open up the death penalty for that? Good to have you here, by the way. Appreciate the information. LNC posted they'll be in the courtroom, but no video allowed. Right. I don't think anyone's going to be in the courtroom at all with a camera. Wooden Toad, welcome to the gallery. Glad to have you as a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. This is a good group that you've joined. And as a member, you can go ahead and type that ! seat, and you will be moved up to the front of the room where the view is just fantastic. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Someone suggested a blue-faced pickle before. I love that. I'll have to look at that. For obvious reasons, emojis with pickles I have to be careful with. So I'll see what we can find. But I tore that up, so we got to address it. Oh man, that was the funniest thing. I accept for value in return for value. Your complaint, Kat. I think that multiple murders are enough, but it could need MHL to answer for sure. Yeah, and I don't know. It may be state specific. I know some of these laws are state specific, but no cameras during court appearance of Idaho suspect. So I wonder if the no still cameras as well, or if they allow a court photographer. Yeah, that's what we were expecting. I still want to be a fly on the wall in that courtroom today. I think, Monica, this isn't going to be the good one. The good one is going to be in Idaho. Idaho. Brian might actually be in the courtroom. Isn't he on the ground there? That would be awesome if he can get in the courtroom, because I'd love his take. He's extremely observant. He's really quick. He's very good at describing things. His tweets are very readable. Will there be audio? That is a great question, Maui. I don't know. How can you follow Brian? He's on Twitter. Brian Enton is on Twitter. He is. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find him here. There he is. He is a senior national correspondent with News Nation. Aviation nut, dog lover, total news hound. He is a news hound. But I think he's on the scene there. I think he's actually there. Okay. I just checked, and Idaho has only 8 people currently on death row. Right, and they sit there forever. Idaho is not quick to execute. There's very likely that 7 or 8 of those people on death row will die of natural causes. Brian's everywhere. They're just Brian's all over the place. Wooden Toad says, I'm a college student and mom, but my schedule next semester gives me Mondays off, so that's nice. Hey, it's good to have a break. And doing mom is a full-time job, and college student at the same time is a full-time job. So 2 full-time jobs, that is no joke. So more power to you. Hope that your college student days go quickly and end with you getting the degree you'd like. Let's see. Thank you, everyone who's joined Discord, and to those who've supported via boosting as well. Truly appreciate you all. Little Miss, did we reach the number? Did we reach 200? Bella says I'm banned from Twitter. Let's see. Julianne says, I don't let being in a chair stop me. I've been to the U.S. dozens of times and love it. I live on the north coast of Ireland. You'd be very welcome to come. I live near the Giant's Causeway. Oh my goodness, that would be amazing. I actually have ancestry in Scotland, which is not the same, but it's the same part of the world, and I love all things about the United Kingdom and all the countries around it. I've been to Norway, I've been to England. I have not been to Ireland yet. What does it mean to waive your extradition rights? Great question here, MB. I saw that BK did that on the news. I thought extradition back to the state crime was, yes, waiving the rights. Basically, Idaho doesn't have, you talk about subject matter jurisdiction, Idaho doesn't have the authority to come to another state and grab someone and drag them out of the state. Even if they committed a crime in that state, those boundaries mean something. And an Idaho officer, highway patrol, state patrol, whatever it is, they can't go across those state lines and enforce Idaho laws in someone else's state. And so to do that, there's a legal process that takes place where
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
we're doing it right now for sure. There's this process that takes place where the states talk with each other and say, hey, we'd like this. Would you be willing to send him to us? And Brian, the suspect in this case, has some rights as well. And he can say, hey, that's not fair. I'm going to fight this. They don't have grounds to do this. And so he has the right to fight that process in court and have his attorney say, no,
I don't consent to that, man.
he can have the right to fight that, and it can stretch that out. Generally, if there's like charges like this, he's not going to win, right? Other countries have the same sort of process. Like I believe it's Mexico doesn't have a death penalty, right? I might be wrong, but there's another country that doesn't have a death penalty. That if the country that's trying to extradite the suspect has a death penalty, they won't agree to let them out of the country unless you agree not to put him to death. They'll say we'll keep him here. We won't let you come and get him unless you won't do this. And so this battle, this extradition battle in the States, it's a pretty well-known fact that you're going to be extradited. There are very few states that say, no, you can just stay here as long as you want. I don't care if they think you're a criminal over there. But he has the right to fight that, and he's saying, I'm gonna waive that right, the right to fight it. And so they're going to show up. Basically, the judge is going to say, we have this request from Idaho that we transfer you to Idaho. Do you have any problem with that? And he's going to say, nope, go ahead. And they're going to be all right, so ordered. And he's going to go out. The jail is going to out-process him, and he's on his way. Great question, though, MB. Let's see. Burglary is entering a business building residence with the intent or mens rea to commit a crime. 4 murders is enough for the death penalty, but in my personal opinion, the mitigating factor will affect his sentence. So it's just like a mitigating factor. It's not a mitigating, it's a it's an additional crime, right? So it steps it up. I had Twitter. My doctor said I had to get rid of it because my blood pressure was getting too high. Florida has 323 on death row. Being executed is a lengthy process. Right. And there's so many appeals that some of the appeals are automatic and some of them are just available. But they basically wait till they're all exhausted before they move forward. All right. So it's a lethal injection is what we're talking about here, Carol. They deem the chemicals used are inhumane and no one's coming up with a replacement. So death row inmates just stay there. Yeah, it's... That's a battle that's going on all over. And there were some states that say, oh, we're just going to use some other drug that will work. And the drug maker's like, no, you can't use that drug for that. Well, I was 199 on the Discord, but 200 after I registered. So, Monica, you were the 200th person. I was blocked by Boy George on Twitter. That's my claim to fame. That's funny. Like, who blocked who? Awesome, Lil Miss. Glad you guys got over the 200 mark. That is amazing. You guys are wonderful. Thanks for letting us participate in your channel there. There's a powerful interview Brian had with a BTK killer daughter yesterday. Long interview, must see. Love to see some pictures of Ireland. Yeah, Julianne, if you're able to email, I think it costs money to call the burner phone from Ireland. In the U.S., it's a little bit different, where we can send text messages and things and call without a per call charge or per minute charge. So I don't like to incur charges to do that. But if you do have pictures you'd like to share, on my profile page or on my channel page, if you go down to the About section, there's a link you can click to access my email. I think it's masked. You have to click a button and then it becomes unmasked. But you're welcome to send some pictures. We'd be happy to share some of those on the channel. We'd love to see some beautiful Ireland countryside. Let's see. Does PA have the death penalty? It's not going to apply here, Janet, because he didn't commit the crimes in PA. But let me check really quickly to see if they do. I'm not familiar. Let's see. Yes, 110 people are on PA death row, all of whom are male. 74% of inmates in Pennsylvania who are on death row have been on it for more than 10 years. And some inmates who are facing death row have received retrials on different sentencing strategies due to Governor Wolf's moratorium. So they have a death row, but they haven't executed someone since July 6th of 1999. Good question there. Let's see. MB says, when you look at me in the camera eyes, I feel like you're sitting in my living room just chatting with me. You even have the appropriate glance away moments. That's the beauty of this. This is a fun system. I will say that that I love cameras. One of the first items I ever bought was a camera, and this camera that I have works really well for live streaming. It's got the perfect lens. It's got the perfect everything, and the location of where it's at is what makes it look like that. So. Hey, MB, how are you doing? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. There you go. Little eye contact. I'm of the opinion that public hangings, which are legal in Utah, should be illegal in all 50. Wow. I didn't know hangings was still on the books anywhere. I know some states still have a firing squad, but I think Utah's still with the firing squad. I didn't know they had hanging as an option, though. That's interesting. I have Scottish ancestry, but not sure where. Just back up the chain a little ways. You have to do that DNA thing that got Brian. You'll never know. You might find you're related to some criminals, too. My great cousin, who was in American Revolution, comes from Glasgow, Scotland. My ancestry is there as well. That's neat. My ancestors, I believe, were from the Banff area, if I remember correctly. But when I was in England, I actually lived in an area in England where I had relatives that after they came down from Scotland, they were in England, so in the Rickmansworth, Watford area. But the first place I was over there was Aylesbury, which was a lot of fun. Countryside out there. Let's see. Just skipped ahead again. No sleep last night, says Debbie. What time do you think there might be news about the trial? It's going to be about 2.5 hours, Debbie, really before we start hearing some news. And really we don't expect any new news today. All that we're going to hear and discuss today has sort of already happened. Of course, we saw the video of him going into court. There may be a video of him going out of court. It will be back into that same van. I don't think Idaho is going to take custody of him right then and go straight to Idaho from there. I think he'll go to the jail again, out process, and they'll pick him up from the jail and go from there, probably for safety reasons. And he'll be transported in probably an unmarked vehicle and then on a flight, and off he goes. Let's see. AJ says, hey, what was that? Did I miss something? AJ, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much. Glad to have you as a member. Also one of our OGs here. She's been around for a good long time, just making the chat just enjoyable. Thank you very much, AJ. Appreciate that. Thank you. It would not be the same here without you. I think I have a sound effect tied to when you become a member, but I didn't hear it. You guys might have heard it. I was talking over it. It's supposed to say, when you become a member at any level, it's supposed to play this soundbite.
By gosh, make them work for it.
So I think that's a funny one. But if that's not working right, I'll have to tweak that and make it work. Let's see. In my head, BK did this for his doctorate. If he gets away with it, could he come out and be like, yeah, I did it, and not face any repercussions because of double jeopardy? No, because that might be considered new evidence, and new evidence might change things. I don't know. I don't think you can come out and get away. You can, be found not guilty, and then come out and say, "Haha, I did it." I think that would put you back up without being double jeopardy. I don't know. Maybe they can. We need someone to straighten that out and tell me. Bella, take your seat at the front. Thank you very much. Right next to AJ. I'm finally on a computer so I can join. Wonderful. Josh says, Recovery Addict, looks like Lawn Crime, I love that, Lawn Crime, is going live with something at 9 a.m. Right, I've got their feed coming in as well. There's nothing yet. They just got a placeholder. It looks like this one right there. But that's it. Let's see. Does anyone else see bees? Yes. And I'm going to fix this. It's right over here. It's actually a problem with the green screen because of how my lights are set up. I've got a little bit of a shadow right there, and that's why it's buzzing. I can make it go away by switching to this and having me in a small box. So that's a little bit better. If that makes it, if that helps your OCD a little bit, Courtney. It's just I shuffle things around on my desk, and it affects the way the light hits my green screen, and that's the effect. Because I'm actually not in court. I know some of you might be surprised to know that, but I'm not sitting in a courtroom right now. Mr. 80 says, you can look up my ancestor cousin to be sure he has stature in the U.S. Capitol. I share on Discord if you like. Proud of him. Awesome. Good to have notable relatives. I became a member at midnight-ish because that's when I figured it out, says MB. Wonderful. Thank you. We'll have to...
By gosh, make them work for it.
Yeah, we'll have to play the sound for you. Let's see. I thought I was still hungover. No, it's me. I'll get it fixed before the next live stream. I was supposed to do it yesterday because it started yesterday. But Michelle says, I have beekeeping equipment. Never use it. They scare me. Stuff came included with the house. I've got some family members that do beekeeping. and they had a hive. My sister had a hive like right outside our front door, which, you know, for me, I'd be like, I want the hive to be acres away from me. You know, occasional bee passing by 20 feet away, I'd be okay with that. But this hive was right outside the door, and unless you like knew it was there, you'd completely be oblivious to it. Oh man, Hamlin's still on a ventilator. Man, that's rough. Prayers go out for him. I sent you an example of choking emoji on the burner. Okay, MB, I will take a look at that. See if we could use that for our troll emoji. Is it? I was going to see if it was a GIF. Let me see. I might have to work on it a little bit. Obviously, I have to find it's something that's that I'd have rights to, and I have a couple sources for that. But I see if I have a variant of that. We'll definitely need that before it gets busy. Just saying hello. We lost an uncle last week. Oh, I'm sorry, Jake. Sorry about that. Also lost a friend. Oh man, Jake. Entire family landed in Vietnam and will be gone for a month. Happy New Year. Bye, Jake. Hang in there, man. That is rough. Our hearts are going out to you. Pauline says BK seems to be acting like he's going to get away with the killings. Yeah, he's got a high level of confidence. I'll say that. That's what comes across. But maybe he doesn't know what evidences they've got against him yet. Julianne says, recovery addict, I'll do my best and try to do that. We've got beautiful beaches. My son-in-law is a coxswain on the lifeboats. He's got a drone that takes beautiful photos of the coast. That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. Julianne, I'm not sure if you know, I love metal detecting, and there's so much history in England and Ireland and Scotland and stuff like that. So I look at those areas and I see that, you know, for centuries people have been, you know, living and working and plowing fields and stuff up there. And I look at that and I'm like, I just want to see what's under the ground. But I also love the scenery and just the beautiful surroundings. That would be awesome. Let's see. Just tell them to buzz off. Yes, please take care of yourself, Jake. Hang in there. I hope things step up and that your family gets the support they need at this time. That's really rough. Man, Mutt's having some bad news. This is not how we wanted to start the new year off. With somebody in the hospital with COVID, with father. Oh man, I hope he does okay. Obviously, if he's in the hospital, that indicates it's pretty serious. So I hope all the best to him. Hope that it's a quick stay, and he's bounces back to health quickly. Just a lot of love for Jake here, Mutt. You as well. That's no fun. Wish your dad the best. Okay, there's the link on how to use Discord Toxic. Thank you for much for putting that in chat. If you guys just joined Discord and you're looking at it and you go, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start, take a look at that little video, and that will help you out. And then once you learn how to join in the chat there, you'll find out that you have people who can help you within Discord as well. So that would be cool. Let's see, Becky. Where did Becky just appear? I didn't see. Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone, says Becky. Becky, welcome. I'm glad you found us here. This is a fun little channel, and hopefully you find that it's friendly and you want a place you want to come back to. But welcome. I will tell you that if you do join, if you do subscribe, you can never leave. So, not that we don't allow it. It's just how it works. I have good news. My son made it back safely to Fort Bragg late last night after he got to visit us for 19 days. That's awesome. That is good news. That's awesome. Fort Bragg's not too far from me. I'm in North Carolina. So, let's see. Ed, I haven't made a decision on that, the Shaw business trial. It depends what else we have going on, really. Let's see what the dates are on that. Let's see. Let's see, the dates are... It's in May, right? We'll have to see what. It's a pretty gruesome one, but we'll have to see what coverage it has available. I don't know if by May I'll be able to have my system set up to live stream from a courthouse yet. I doubt it. That's pretty quick to have it set up. If it's televised, there's a chance though. Let's see. In May we might be dealing with some of the math teacher murders. Just going off the top of my head. We'll see. Becky says, I've been watching for several weeks, but not last week. I was on vacation. All right, Becky, you're a member already, so you know you can't leave, even if you take a little break. so thank you. And thank your son for his service, obviously. That is amazing. I've heard that once police zero in on a possible person of interest, they lose their objectivity and go the wrong way on the investigation. Carol, yeah, tunnel vision. It's a real thing. I think some of the trials we've watched here on this channel you can see that in the prosecution, where everyone's guilty. You know, everyone who's arrested is guilty in their eyes. So it seems that way. Frozen? What's frozen? Am I frozen? I don't show up as frozen. Let's see, Rosie. Oh no, Rosie. Oh man. I'm so sorry. I've never had to deal with loss that close to me. It's the people I have lost that have probably the closest would be a coworker I worked with for many years, just on a 2-person team for many years, and know her family, know her kids, and that was rough. And I can't imagine what you're going through, what you have gone through, and what you're going through now. But my heart goes out to you, Rosie, for sure. Let's see. Monica says, I've only typed the word potato today. Did not say it, and now I started getting notifications on how to prepare potatoes. The internet, it's spying on you. It does that. Being on a computer makes chat easier, but also make more mistakes. Yeah, it happens. And I'm on several computers, so I make a lot more mistakes. Oh man, so many of you have had some serious stuff to go through here in the last few months or currently, and just know my heart reaches out to you guys. You guys are amazing. That you're. I mean, these are names. Suzanne, I see you in chat, every day, and your positivity and just making the world brighter. Just being here, that's so admirable that you're able to do that in light of the challenges that the struggles that are going on at home. But thank you for being you, and please know that our hearts go out to you. I do. I'm sorry, Pauline, but here's what we figured out. I have bugs. I have a swarm of bees right here next to me. And, my key is acting funny, and I would fix it right now, but I don't have it plugged in, and the plug's way down there. And so if I get up, you will see that I'm wearing a nice long sleeve shirt looking all professional, but I'm wearing shorts. So it's like when you watch the news and the sportscaster does his show and he's got his shirt and tie and his sport coat on and everything, and he tells you all about the news. And then they go to a break, but they don't really cut away from the cameras yet. It sort of like goes to a wide shot of the news desk, and the sports guy gets up and walks away, and he's wearing shorts underneath. And that's what I have right now. So I'm trying to carry the image that I'm all dressed properly for the live stream, but really I'm pretty relaxed. But we'll let the bugs stick around for a little bit. Let's see how I can move to make them go away. Is that any better? Now I'm crooked. Yeah, I don't know. Ed says, do you think that other jurisdiction want these guys since it's possible that he was killed in other places? Ed, I don't think we have any evidence to that yet. I mean, obviously, somebody who commits 4 murders, you have to wonder if they did anything before that, right? That's what you're getting at. So if someone else does have DNA already on a murder that they haven't been able to solve, he will show up. They'll definitely have a swab from him if they haven't already. They'll get a swab and get his actual DNA if they only have had family members in the past. So definitely he'll show up and they'll be able to track him down and match him up that way. And then they would want him back to face trial somewhere else. Thank you for keeping me on my toes. I'll fix the green screen here in the break. I think it actually happened when I figured out a way to block out the sun. It was blinding me in the mornings, but it changed the lighting in the room. 2023 came out swinging for the fence. It did, and some of us that realized that it was swinging at us. And for those of you that are going through hard times, I really hope that this is the lowest point of the year and that it all gets better from here, that you find just love and support and new friends and success in your life. Everyone needing prayers has been added to the Discord prayer list. Thank you so much, Toxic. I looked up canning instructions, and suddenly the internet thinks I need to know how to prepare for the fall of society. Wooden toad. A zombie apocalypse is also going to be coming up. So you'll be starting getting emails about gift boxes that have like survival knives and pop-up tents that you can live in an avalanche and things like that. Death is a bittersweet part of life. It is. It wouldn't surprise me at all, says Katrina to Ed. In fact, it will surprise me if he isn't responsible for some unsolved crimes. I hear you, Ed. I just don't know of any yet, and so I'd hesitate to say that. But I'm thinking it. I'll tell you that. I'm thinking that. Gordon says there's a very popular British TV company called Detectorist about metal detecting. You might want to look it up. I love that, Gordon. I love it. The curse of the gold is I've never had that because I have found gold. I haven't obviously found something historic like it's portrayed in that video. But I have found gold on multiple occasions, whether it be rings or actually my favorite was a gold coin, a $5 gold coin, which I found here in North Carolina. I guess it was 2 years ago now. Wow. Or last year. I don't remember anymore. The COVID was just so bizarre. I don't remember when it was. Oh man, Tish. Parents have been together for 67 years. That is wonderful. I mean, it's sad that your mom passed away, but that's what a legacy they left. I see the bugs. I have bugs. That's what it is. They're bugs bombing me. We talk about bees, and buzz, here they are. Maxwell Hauser, 66, is admitted to being an addict. Please welcome him to the group. Thank you very much, Maxwell. Is it Max Wellhauser or Maxwell Hauser? This is the question. What do I call you? But welcome, first of all. I call you welcome. Glad you found us here, and hopefully you find it a place you want to return to. Let's see. Everyone can see the bugs now. I'll get it fixed, I promise. I wish your bees made to blow honey, my favorite honey in the world. These bees just bug me. That's all they do. I have a whole swarm of them. If I move right, let me see. That made it worse. I've agitated the hive. I think what happened is my green screen, it's a cloth, and I think someone brushed up against it and sort of stretched the cloth, and so I have to stretch it out again. I do have an actual green screen behind me, Ed. I don't, because of how I'm routing my video, I can't turn off the green screen because I'm routing it through one system and then feeding that into the second, and I can only control the second one remotely. So to change it so you could see my green screen, I would have to climb under my desk, which I try not to do on camera because it doesn't look very glamorous. But I do have a green screen behind me and a couple lights. I've got 3 lights set up here as well. Let's see. At least you got underwear on. Hey, we little wins. We'll take what we can get. Let's see. I wish you could actually use that camera that I see over your right shoulder. Not really. There it is. Which... my right shoulder. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be a courtroom. That's a pan tilt zoom camera. That would be a neat one. I'll have to get a different video that doesn't have that camera in there because that sure does throw things off. I should have recognized that all along. Maybe I'll crop the picture a little bit better and crop it out. Let's see here. You guys are amazing, all of you. Why do we fear the best of all possible outcomes? Really, we fear the unknown, and you know the unfamiliar. I guess we should say. A lot of us have a belief in what happens after death, but it's still unfamiliar. And even if it's better than what we have right here, we those who remain are sad because we miss them, even though they're in a better place. My swarm is growing. It's getting bad. I don't know. I've got to figure out. Did I fix? I didn't. I thought I fixed it. I love all this. Stop. I'm in the nail salon. We want to see the nails. We want to see the finished product, Samantha. You'll have to send a picture to the burner phone. Maxwell House. Okay, it's a reference to coffee. I'm in love. All right. If it's a reference to coffee, we'll find out. Is Toxic Orchid Little Miss what is supposed to show up in Discord? Yes, Janet. Toxic Orchid and Little Miss are the or Little Miss are the owners of Discord. They're associated with the channel, but I am not them. They have done this on their own. They were going before I was, I believe, for quite some time. And they found the channel and invited our followers, our subscribers and viewers to participate in their channel. And it's been a wonderful fit. I use them as a reference all the time. So yes, they're the two that are in charge. Reach out to them if you have any questions on Discord, if you're in there. I'm out for a while. My best to all and deep appreciation for this haven of sanity provided by your recovery addict. Thank you, Last Poet. Thanks for being here. We'll be back here in a little bit. I think we're going to take a little break to go and get ready, get some lunch. I have some pickles in the fridge that are dying to be on a sandwich, and I'm not going to begrudge them that privilege. So look up the series, the Time Team. It's a UK-based series on archaeology that's been around since 2000 or so. You might really like it. I'll have to check that out. I've got a buddy here in the U.S. that actually goes over to the UK and participates in a metal detecting TV show. And it's fun. I've been out detecting with him several times. Actually filmed some stuff for him as well. But I think whenever someone admits to being an addict, we should all greet them like an AA meeting. MB, I think that's the goal. I think we should do that. And if there's anything I could do to change the message, like if you do !new, it'll show you the last persons who joined. I can change that message if I can make it more like an AA meeting. That would be better. Wooden Toad says, recovery addict, don't you know if you enter the well, you'll be standing under the authority of maritime law? Oh, yes. Sovereign citizen. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix my B problem, or I'm going to give it a good effort at fixing my B problem here over my shoulder. The camera is built into the image. Yes, it is. I do have, my camera is actually over my left shoulder. That's this one right here. That's looking down this way. So, and then my other one, this is my favorite camera in the world. I've owned several cameras, but this is a Sony A6600 with a Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens for you camera nuts out there. It's a prime lens that means you can't zoom in and out. It's a fixed lens, but it's phenomenal. It's really good. Okay, where were we? Pickles. What? Yes, we're all about pickles here. I love pickles, and I bring them up all the time. Specifically, spicy maple bourbon pickles available at Walmart for $3.84. Let's see. Get your mug here. I need to get my mug. I've had nothing to drink in here. I have an empty water bottle, and that's it. So I'm dying. Love the shoulder-mounted camera you had. Yes, I had a. Let's see. If you guys are familiar with if you guys like crime movies, there was a movie with George Clooney, and it was like a Vegas heist movie. It was Ocean's 11. I think it was Ocean's 11. In that movie, while they're preparing to do their big heist, as they're like holding it, they're getting set. They're all in their like little meeting room. They're passing around a camera. They're holding a camera. It was a Canon XL2 camera. It's a shoulder-mounted camera that actually records on a cassette tape. That's how old it was. And I had that camera. I loved that camera. It had a big fat barrel lens with an optical stabilization, and I would strap that camera over my shoulder and put my police scanner in an earbud in my ear, and I'd hop on my motorcycle. I had a KLR 650 from Kawasaki, and in the evenings I'd drive around and chase the police scanner and film crime scenes. And I loved it. But I sold that camera, I think, to buy a firearm, and then I ended up selling the firearm to get back into this hobby. Yeah, so it's been fun. Let's see. All right. I think I'm caught up. I'm caught up on chat. Yeah, Ed, it's a crazy case, that one you're talking about, that Shaw business stuff. Pretty gruesome, dismembering, but leaving parts of the body. Let's see. I've been training for this a long time for this YouTuber job. AJ, I have. I just didn't know it. And it's funny because I'm friends with one of my college professors that was from my news class on Facebook. He actually was one of the top guys at Facebook over a huge department. Since he's moved on to something else, but he tried to get me on camera all the time, and I would not do it. It would not be it. I would not be on camera, and now he sort of chuckles because here I am on camera every day, all day, and it's great. It's another story. We'll share another story maybe later today. Weather Watch comes in with another gifted sub, and Ed, you are the recipient. This chat right here that says, "Of course, my kind of crime." That's the last time you've had to chat this month without membership privileges. So next time you type, your name will be in green. You will notice that you have a badge next to your name, and now you can type !seat and move up to the front of the room, where the view is absolutely phenomenal. But thank you so much, Weatherwatch. Your generosity is amazing. I appreciate your support of the channel. You are just an upstanding individual and someone I can call a friend. Weatherwatch is awesome in all over the place, right? The forecast is Weatherwatch is awesome for the foreseeable future. But thank you very much, and welcome, Ed. How do you win? It's his luck of the draw. Okay, close, Ed. You've got to do !seat without a break. So !seat. And MB, for me, it's Scott with 2 T's. Let's see. The front row's getting full. Cuddle up, Ed. There's a couple front rows. But yes, that's you guys are amazing. Let me see here. I need to go one more thing. Open a new tab. Okay. This is taking a second here. For some reason, my mouse is going over to my iPad, which I don't know what makes it do that, but sometimes I really like that, and sometimes I really don't. And this is one of the times when I don't. But I have 4 iOS devices, well, 5 if you count my phone, but 4 on my desk, and sometimes the mouse on one it wanders from one screen over to the other, and then I have to it gets lost, and I have to find its way back across the screens to where I want it to be. I'm not sure what causes that. Let's see. Okay. All right, so we're good there. All right, just had to check some things here. Let's see. Izzy says, just joined back. Had to step away for a second. Happy to see you're still live. We are live for a little bit. We're going to take a break. We will be back. We'll be back and following sort of what's happening. I'm not sure if we'll have a live stream that we can take because a lot of it's going to be talking heads, which they're not very good with sharing that footage with me. It's from a fair use standpoint. But we'll probably take a little bit of break. I do want to say we have one fantastic member who I've agreed to shout out every single time we go on a live stream. That's Julie Padillo. Julie Polito, sorry, who was an attorney, and she's right at the front of the other room. I'm not sure if she's here today, but thank you so much, Julie, for being a virtual attorney, I should say. It's clarification. No bar exam needed for this one, but I appreciate her support of the channel at that level. It's amazing and very generous. So thank you so much. All right, so let's see. If there's anything else I need to address before we go, subject matter jurisdiction will have to wait, unfortunately. KLR 650, old school. Yes, it is still made, Richard. It's a fantastic bike that, unfortunately, it's like a mix between a dirt bike and a street bike. It's like an 80-20 split. It's a little bit on the heavy side for some of the small trails, but you can just go off-road readily with it, and I loved it. The bike was made the exact same way for years. It was like 12, 15 years they made the bike exactly the same, no changes, which made it, and it's very easy to work on. It's just an open frame type thing. It's fantastic. The only downside is something in the exhaust system makes it develop a Tweety Bird sound. So it has a little whistle as you rev the engine. And so it sounds like you have this little goofy bike that has this little Tweety Bird stuck in the exhaust. It's the only thing I didn't like on that part, but it was a fun bike. Ended up selling it to a relative, and he loved it. If this case shuts down soon, bye, friends. I've become a lurker for a few. All right, sounds good. I made a DIY VIP seat. That's wonderful, Mr. 80s Music. Appreciate just being here. Obviously, nobody should feel like they have to do any sort of financial donation. Just you being here is enough. That is amazing for me, and I love it. But thank you so much. Tornado Watch, Izzy, let's see. Who's got the Tornado Watch? That's no good. Yeah, we'll have to get Weather Watch to order you some better weather if you're getting tornadoes. Let's see, we're under watch until later today. Well, hopefully you can bring a device down into your storm shelter and be in a safe place and still follow along. I've seen a ton of Perry Mason, which qualifies me for nothing. You know, Ed, you'd be surprised. You'd do a better job than obviously like Daryl Brooks or something like that. So you're qualified at least for that. I would really appreciate a complete list of commands. KQD, I did fix them. Put it at the beginning of the word. Just do a commands and see if that works. It should pop up. If it doesn't, I can paste them here. Let's see. Why did that commands not fire? Okay, let me turn off this. Let me see if I can paste it in chat just to see what happens here. Not that one. Auxiliary. Okay, there it was, right here. The commands can be used are late, new, addict, mug, burner, Matthew, Discord, FB, SMJ, name, and lawsuit. And if we need another one, I think we need one for squirrel as well. But I'm trying to limit. We don't want to have too many commands that just play sounds on the channel because that can get distracting, especially if people... Well, the cops are coming. They must have heard about my mouse that I stole. Let's see. So yeah, these commands are working. Some of them have timers that only let it happen once or twice, especially ones with sound effects. So it needs breaks in between. We need pickles, something with pickles, but I don't know what to do with pickles. As far as there's not really a sound for a pickle. The crunch of a pickle sound isn't that distinguishable. Pretend to be someone else. What would I do for that? Let's see. All right, yeah. So you'll see, like Pauline, you did the commands thing again after someone else had done it, and it will time you out and say it'll wait just so it doesn't spam over and over. I think they're about a 1 minute timer on those. Used to watch a lot of Night Court. Oh man, Night Court. That's going way back in the day for me. The big bailiff, was he a big bald bailiff guy? I think he was my favorite. That'd be hilarious if the feds showed up at Recovery Addict's house and aggressively took his mouse. MB, I will tell you, this mouse, first of all, you don't want it. It was broken a long time ago. It is an optical mouse, which is nice. It was broken a long time ago, and it's a throwaway mouse that just came free with some of the computer equipment they issued to me. And they have buckets and buckets of them, and they throw them out when they're done in the garbage. And so I talked to the guy, and I said, look, I've got the mouse. I mean, I didn't just not return it. I talked to the IT folks as I was doing that. I said, I have the mouse, and I have this, and I have this, the extra stuff. And they say, we throw that away. Just go ahead and keep that. And so I got the go-ahead. I would not dream of keeping federal equipment without permission. I wish I'd never heard of Craigslist, Rowdy. Meet a new Night Court. Bowl. Yes, Bowl was the bailiff. He was my favorite. Anyway. All right, so we need to have a break, because if we don't, I'll never be able to fix these bees over my shoulder, and I won't get my pickles on my sandwich. And both of those things need to happen. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. Let me just check the schedule here. It looks like we've got about 2 hours before we go live. That will bring us to, what time is it now? 12:30, so that would be 2:30. Yeah. So that sounds about right. We'll be live about an hour before a pee break, whatever sort of break you need. That'd be great. I'm going to get my mug and some water, I think. I think all the mods should have assigned courtroom positions. How would we do that? I don't know. I wish I could make commands that only the mods could use. But the tool I have doesn't give me that degree of control. So a lot of these commands, it's a member command or just a general command. But anyway, let's play a little music. Let's go ahead and I almost played a sound effect. Could play a sound effect. There we go. There's the music we wanted. All right, so thank you very much for being here, you guys. We had a fun morning. You guys are amazing. You really are. Thanks to everyone who's just by being here has made this channel what it is. It's amazing. It's every day I wake up and look at this and have the best job in the world, coming here and spending time with you guys and talking about things that I like to talk about. So thank you very much. I'm getting emotional just talking about it. You guys are amazing. Please hug everybody you love. Stay safe. Smile at somebody. Make their day a little bit better. We will be back this afternoon. We're going to talk more about this case with Brian Koberger. I'll get his name down by the time this case is over. But we'll be back. So thank you very much. If you just joined, sorry, watch the replay. It's got some good stuff on there. We'll be back this afternoon. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.